You found the new emotes. We got new emotes, y'all. What is up, everyone? What is up? We got a Smand emote. We got a Smand emote. That's my new favorite. We got a Smand. We got a Naroshizuku ink bottle. We got some nibs. We got Toby sleeping. We got some writing. I got the animated emotes. I got to get them fixed. They need to be in a different shape format. So Sleepy is. I sent them an email. We're gonna work on that. So good morning. Good morning. Oh, Carly Brooke with the 11 months of subbing, the Dormouse Desk, 4 months of subbing, heading to Orlando tomorrow. Tomorrow, you're going to be at the Pen Show this weekend. Schmevelin with 41 months of subbing. Let's go. Let's go. So yeah, you can play around, find all the new emotes. We have new subscriber emotes. We have new free emotes as well. We got the nibs out in there. We got some writing ones. Good morning, Libby Lamb. Orlando hype. Let's go. Let's go. We got more to add. I had a Smand catastrophe yesterday, this weekend, chat. Look what happened here. Look at that. What is up? I feel like I need a new Smand already. What do you think? Tam Servo, 9 months of subbing. Kless, 28 months of subbing. Let's go. Like, what happened here? Rip. Emotes, she-motes, we all mote for the drifter, right? Me and Tony got on the Destiny, got on the D2. What is this emote? It's a little notebook with writing in it. It's hard to see. When the more detailed they get, when they're that size, they're harder to see. But it's got some little writings on it. It's a little notebook. But yeah, we got the ink filling up, the Roshizuku, Toby. We got a bunch of new ones. You can get that out, tried on. Yeah, I'll try. So it's Copic multi-liner. I had a bunch of pens out, and I just set that one down. And the tip, Sleepy Toby's a mood. I know, right? Toby is put up today because we allegedly are having a special guest appearance by one of my friends who's in town. Hopefully soon. So I don't want to jinx it, but hopefully they're going to be showing up soon. So this could be a world's first live in-person guest. And if they show up, which they will, they have a pretty good plotter set up. So I told them to bring it. I told them to bring it today, and we'll look and see. I don't know if there's too many secrets in there for us to show and tell, but their plotter game is on point. I think they're here. Hang on 1 second. All right, hold that thought. I'm gonna put this on mute real quick because I'm gonna have to move a chair around. All right, hang on. I'll be right back, chat. Hang tight. I know I'm muted. Just hang on. Almost there. All right, chat, we're here. We're here. Let's see if he's in the screen.
Yeah,
all right.
There we go. Hey.
This is my buddy Jay Miller.
What's going on?
What's your Twitter handle?
KJ Miller.
KJ Miller.
Or KJY Miller, I guess.
Yeah, at KJY Miller. So, how long have we known each other? Like, I'm not prepared for this, by the way. Neither is Jay. He texted me like 15 minutes ago, said, hey, I'm coming over. I said, hey, I'm about to stream. You want to get on? This is how this went this morning.
So maybe
The chat.
officially probably 2018, yeah, because 2018, 2019. Because it would have been right after my daughter was born.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like, funny enough, like, I grew up down the street.
Yeah.
Like, it's like 5 miles away.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's like 5 miles away. Jay texted me one day, and he's like, "I'm pretty sure my parents live right down the street from you."
Yeah. Well, I can't. I think it was like during a podcast. Maybe you mentioned like, it was a pizza place. I'm pretty sure it was a pizza place. And then I was
Probably Ingleside.
Yeah, Ingleside Village.
Which that's the local.
Yeah. And I think once you did that, I was like, okay, I only know of one Ingleside Village pizza, so like, has to be. Don't be creepy, chat. Like,
my OPSEC is poor.
Yeah.
So.
After that, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna message Brad and be like, hey, I don't have to be weird, but like, did you live here? And he's like, oh yeah. I was like, oh yeah, I went to the school down the street. He's like, oh yeah, cool. So. Small world.
All right, what's your Twitch handle? Is it KJ Miller also?
KJY Miller, yeah. Everything is KJY Miller.
Man, you're one of those good people who...
Everything is the same.
Yep.
Website, email, everything.
All right.
I was like, am I missing a pen? I got pin checked? Is this what we're doing already?
We have pin checks.
So first of all, knock bagging. And this is my specific travel one because I travel a lot. And then... I brought these. These are my daily drivers. My Twisby 580 Rose Gold. And my Lamy 2000, which is nice. It definitely needs to be cleaned.
Jay and I talk about pins a lot.
Yeah. And then my Sailor Pro Gear Slim.
All right, hand those over.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And let's see. And then a fine liner for...
Always.
line work.
All right. Lamy 2000 was kind of the first one that we talked about. Or you already had this kind of before we were talking.
No. I want to say this. Yeah, so the Lamy 2000 was the one where I was like, okay, I want to spend a little bit of money. That's probably like my 7th or 8th pen.
Okay.
And at that point, I basically tried to stay under $100. So I was like, I don't want to go wild, but I want to spend a little bit of money.
I'm showing chat this while Jay's talking about staying under $100 just for the record.
Well, that was the second conversation we had.
This is a lot of me to blame here, chat.
Yeah. So
good morning, Tess. Good morning.
I wanted something. I wanted to try like a low profile pen, something similar to like a Vanishing Point. So that's where the 2000 came in, and so yeah, that is I call that like my header pen. So
let's scoot in a little bit because I got the camera.
There we go. Yes, there we go. So all the semi-important labels and things like that go there. The Sailor is actually my daily driver, which
okay. So what ink is in this?
All of them are Sailor inks. Yeah. Sailor Iroshizuku, or not Pilot Iroshizuku.
Mm-hmm.
I do not know the specifics.
So this pen is awesome seeing in person, because if any of y'all have a Lamy 2000 and you use it frequently, you start to get like some smoothing on the macrolon. That's when you know a Lamy 2000 has made it, right? Like I love seeing worn Lamy 2000s because the macrolon wears so well. Like,
honestly, that's
really,
my most
really
comfortable pen. Yeah. Like, I feel bad that I don't use it more. I just feel bad because the Sailor costs more, so I can use that more.
Oh, hang on. Let me catch up here real quick. Kless with the 28 months of subbing. Tam Servo, 9 months. Wan Chi with the first time subbing. Tier 1 subbing. 11 months from Sergeant Stretch. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. Thanks for hanging out with us today. So, yeah, this is awesome. So, the Sailor's your daily driver. What nibs on the Lamy? I'm throwing you right into the fire, by the way.
I want to say fine.
Yeah.
Pretty sure
it looks pretty fine. Yeah.
I usually tend to rock fine nibs. I know the conversation we had was kind of like the fine versus medium. I tend to never go extra fine because I'm a lefty overhooker, so I tend to get
forget
a lot
about
of scratchiness.
That. When we talk, you have to remind me about that. I forget that part a lot.
Okay.
That's important. Like,
okay.
Because we talk about, like, Jay's always texting me to, like, for recommendations for the next pen.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And like,
my hope is to make a purchase at some point while I'm out here. So.
Oh, gosh. All right. So, yeah, medium fine or medium.
Yeah. I remember there being like a Japanese medium is like the European fine. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can test all that stuff out. So, awesome, Sailor. You use this one mostly.
Yeah,
so.
I actually get some scratchiness out of that too.
We can look at that. And that's I don't want to say that's normal for Sailor, but they can run a little bit scratchy, and people will not like that from Sailors a lot. Jay, I think you need to join the 823 gang. We'll have to show Jay the 823.
Okay.
We will ink that one up while he's here. I don't have it inked up today, but and then the 580. This is the classic rose gold, smoke rose gold.
Yep.
I think that's called.
I actually was shopping for an Eco for my sister-in-law, and saw that and was like, well, I haven't bought a pen in a while. So immediately gave myself the excuse to say, hey, happy birthday to you and Merry Christmas to me. Like, that's...
All right, let's rewind it for chat, since I just threw Jay into the fire with pens and stationery, because I know that's what y'all want to talk about. But Jay is on Relay FM, Conduit FM. This is one of your Conduit FM hosts.
One of the Conduit nerds.
Jay and Kathy. Y'all record every other week?
Yeah, we're recording this afternoon, or I'm on the East Coast now. I'm recording sometime today. Yeah. East Coast time.
Yep. And Jay, tell us about your job, because I find Jay's job to be crazy interesting, and seeing all the travels that you have. You'll say it's boring. It's boring. No one wants to hear about it. But as a tech nerd, I find it interesting. Okay. So tell chat what you're up to.
So my official title is Senior Cloud Advocate at Microsoft. Which is funny because there's nothing but Apple devices around me. It's fine.
Sorry, this is a Windows stream PC. Windows.
Yeah, there you go.
So
there you go.
I'm a Microsoft Cloud Advocate.
Yeah. So my role officially is to provide support to the Python community. If you're a programmer and you program in Python, we may have talked or met before. And then also there's kind of that asterisk with kind of a concentration, or I shouldn't say concentration, with like a special interest in people who are using Microsoft Azure and some of the Azure tools. But ultimately, I'm a community servant, so I serve the greater Python community. And that means occasionally I get to travel. I'm actually speaking in Atlanta next week for an event, and then when I head back home, I'm giving my first keynote at DjangoCon in San Diego. So this is like it's a massive first for me, and I'm excited about it.
Jay's a big deal. He won't tell you. He won't tell you that.
So I think the weirdest flex I've ever had is being in the middle of Dublin, Ireland, And some, like, just trying to figure out where I'm going and just hearing someone shout, Jay, Jay! And I'm like, what's happening? And then it's somebody from Brazil that's like, oh, I've seen like 2 or 3 of your talks, and I could tell it was you by the hair. I just wanted to say hi. Yeah, I'm like, what is happening? It's like, I feel like Brad when he goes to Pen shows. Like, I don't
So we've got some Python FTWs in here. We love dev advocates in here. You're a Microsoftie. We got my husband has probably cursed your coworkers. Good times.
That's what we do. That's what we're here for.
Wow, Mobius Red, that was a little harsh. It says Jay is an actual celebrity. It's like, I'm right here, Mobius.
No,
I'm sitting right here.
Absolutely not an absolute celebrity. Like, no, that's this guy. I traveled across the country specifically, well, to visit my family, but to also make sure that Brad got a call somewhere in there.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll be here for a little bit. You might see Jay on repeated streams.
Yeah,
we mess around. We're gonna do some fun stuff today because I know Jay uses his plotter. Mm-hmm. So shout out plotter system. Yeah, we got some plotter fans.
Shout out to the orange letter. I literally just got this, and I'm mad because you were selling yours, and I was like, if I would. Well,
we'll see if I'm selling mine now.
Okay.
Like I'm having thoughts. I'm having lots of thoughts.
They're a good system. They're a really solid system.
So Jay shared some of his setup with me. I've seen him share it online.
Yeah.
Are you going to QCon in San Francisco?
I am not going anywhere for the rest of the year.
Where you just got back from overseas? Where were you?
I was in Ireland.
You were in Ireland.
I was in Dublin.
Okay, so it was in Dublin.
Yeah.
Breaking news: Brad has thoughts. I do have thoughts. You should wait till tomorrow's podcast. That's what I was doing before Jay got over here. I was writing tomorrow's podcast. I definitely have thoughts. All right. So if y'all have any questions for Jay, how he uses stationery in his job, hit him here. I want to know how you use stationery in your job because we talk about it. We have a lot of tech people here, right? I'm formerly a tech guy.
Yeah.
For some reason, even just like the basic tech people who are just on a computer all day, all the way down to like programmers and sysadmins, why do we like analog so much? How does it help you do your job?
I mean, I guess the one thing that I always tell people, I'm also a big advocate for like mental health awareness. I have ADHD, autism spectrum disorder, and PTSD from the military, and then all that other stuff. So for me, I tend to not handle overwhelm really well. So the easiest way to get overwhelmed is to be constantly like, oh, add stuff to the list, add stuff to the list, add stuff to the list. And then all of a sudden you get this list and it's like massive and you're just like, oh, what is happening right now? Like, I don't know where to start, where to end. Paper was kind of this way, or moving back to paper was always this place of comfort when the systems were getting unwieldy. So eventually I just kind of gave up on the systems and said, I'm just going to stick with the paper. Like, I already broke the glass in case of emergency. I'm just going to like leave the glass broken and just keep using it.
Yeah. So I put a link to Jay's podcast with Kathy on Real FM, Conduit. It's really awesome. Life, productivity, and reality is the tagline. Like, y'all keep it real there. Like they talk about productivity stuff and like things that, you know, we all use. They talk about stationery plenty and how they're going about their day to day, but they try to keep it at a level that's like highly personal, which is what I appreciate. You know, Kathy's a good friend of mine, obviously a good friend of yours, and we get to talk about these things, you know, that we don't always get to talk about. It's like, hey, like I'm having a tough time. Like my mental health is in a bad spot. How can I use these tools to just make my life better?
I tell people like Conduit has been the biggest like community support like system that I've ever been a part of. Like just the ability to come in, like one of the things that we do every single episode is people can tell us what they're working on and what they've been working on for the last 2 weeks, and we the standing promise until someone can force us not to is we will read every single one on the air. Unless they're for some reason like, hey, don't talk about this out loud. But like every single one. People are like, well, what happens if it gets unwieldy? I'm like, these are good problems to have. We don't have them yet, so this is great. But being very transparent about productivity was the whole reason that I wanted to get into productivity thinking to begin with. You know, you have that moment of, you know, people tell you don't check email first thing in the morning and things like that. Well, the first time I heard that, I worked for a help desk. like checking email is my thing. Like that's what I do.
Right.
So figuring out like what do you do when the answer that's in the book doesn't fit your life, and what we started to realize is everyone has those little moments. So we wanted to share as much of those things in our lives, hoping that they would be one of those things for someone else.
And you and Kathy do a good job of holding each other accountable too. Y'all always have accountability check-ins, and like something like I'm very not accountable, as Chat knows. I say I'm gonna do a lot of stuff, and Chat kind of holds me accountable, but like that's kind of really it, and I just kind of get to it. All right, so we have temporarily says paper never accidentally deletes all your calendars in an update.
I mean, yeah, that's been a thing that's happened before, or it never deletes your entire Evernote database while you're deployed. That's a thing that happened.
Yikes. All right, we got a question, Dr. Mr. Punny. If y'all have any questions for Jay or anything for me, whatever y'all want to talk about, we're wide open today. We're doing this on the fly. I went straight into interviewer mode. I don't know if you could tell this. All right, question. As someone heavily involved in software, do you ever find the pull to use beautifully crafted digital writing planning systems? And if so, how do you strike the balance of using both things that bring you joy?
I've tried all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I have problems with all of them. So yeah. I think that's the biggest thing is, going on paper and maybe we'll show that later, but going on paper, it allows me to develop my system over time as I need to. Like I'm already thinking of things that I'm going to try differently this week as compared to last week. And with a digital system, you don't get that.
Yeah.
I also tend to be hesitant of fan clubs. I know there's some apps that tend to gather a large following, and I've fallen for that and at plenty of times, and then all of a sudden it's like, now that we have everybody, here's the subscription model we're going with. And I am absolutely in support of developers getting paid. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the promise of like bring everybody in and then all of a sudden drop a bombshell and see who stays is kind of not the nice way of doing it. I think the better way is to just say, if we planned on charging you from the beginning, we're going to charge you from the beginning, and we're just going to push and improve our product. So that's kind of the answer. Is most of these very pretty systems come with a price, and instead of paying for it, I buy a pen. So
I think that's a fair trade.
Yeah,
I'm down with that. So Starbucks says, are you saying that instead of paying $150 for an occupational therapist, I can just listen to your podcast?
I mean, we don't claim to be mental health professionals. What I will say is if you've thought about joining a support group, our support group is a lot cheaper, and we provide all of the encouragement, but we are not professionals.
Nice. All right, question. In a big work meeting, are you the only person using an analog calendar? I like this because you work for one of the largest corporations in the world. You're probably on a lot of Zoom calls.
Teams calls.
Teams?
Yeah.
Brad's going to get a talking to after this show. Wow. All right, so when you're on your Teams calls, do you see any other paper goods across the world?
Occasionally, there's often a lot of productivity talk around it, but in most cases, I am the only one that's taking active notes in a notebook. Mm-hmm. Occasionally, we'll have like productivity meetings, and people will have like, oh, I'm using this tool or I'm using this other tool, and there will be the challenge of like, but does it do this? And I always say, but it's ugly though, and then we just leave it at that. Like, I can't get over that hurdle. But yeah, I'm usually the only person, and also I'm the only person with a giant wall calendar like behind me. Mm-hmm. So usually you can see like everything that I have going on, which is really nice when someone's asking you to do something. You just kind of glance at the calendar and you go, I can't.
All right. So here's what I have to do. Doing my job. Chat is thinking the same thing, and it's going to come up in there. What wall calendar? Like if this is the type of pressure you're on under the show. What ink is in your pen? What wall calendar is on the desk?
It's the focused year calendar thing.
So I can find the link if anyone's interested in that. So yeah, and does it show all 12 months?
Yes.
Okay.
It shows the entire year, and that is the family calendar. So if my wife has a doctor's appointment, dental appointments, things like that. It's all there, and that's good for me because, I work from home. My wife, by her choice, was a stay-at-home mom, and we we often still get disconnected from time to time because we have a 3-year-old running around, and she'll have things that she has to go do, and I have things that I'll be live streaming, which, by the way, KJY Miller on Twitch, the Python people,
yes.
we do a lot of Python streams.
Yeah, I've seen yours starting to. I see the stream alerts come up more often now.
So sadly, I'm probably not gonna. Well, I mean, unless you have space, I'm not gonna be doing much streaming while I'm out.
We can re-authenticate the browser and get Jay's Twitch key up on here.
We'll figure it out. I mean. Well, I don't do the dual setup thing.
That's true.
Just figure that all out.
That's true. We'll have to figure that out. Yeah.
But yeah, I tend to do. I call them accountability streams.
Okay.
I'll be working and focusing on something for work that that I'm able to share, and just hanging out with people in chat gives me the ability to do that work. And then also, I've been in the Python community for almost a decade now, so a lot of beginners will come in and ask questions. So.
Cool.
We tend to.
That's good.
We tend to do a lot of those things.
You found Twitch good for that? It's just a kind of good jump in, help people out.
It's
accountability, like you said.
Occasionally, people drop in. We're rebuilding. We're in a rebuilding phase. Yeah, so there's not too many people hanging out yet. So I can tend to give focus to a lot of people.
We'll put all the links back in here for everyone here. All right, question from Apple fan. Are you allowed to take this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
I'm not a company fan.
I'm charging up his iPhone right now off screen. So just
FYI. There you go.
Yeah, you don't have a Windows phone?
I'm going. I mean, I wish
I had to go there. I had to go there.
Archival purposes, maybe.
All right, Jay, do you keep work productivity tasks in a digital system and personal productivity tasks in an analog system? Is there a crossover? How do you handle? Do you have a separation of tools between work and personal?
No, because I tend to blend work and personal together. Even the projects I do for work tend to affect me personally, so that I just throw everything in one pot. I mean, we do have systems that we have to report things in, and for that I will go and sometimes double dip, I guess. But luckily, most of our stuff is post reporting. It's not day-to-day management of things.
Gotcha. So you never have that have to have that full on system. Where'd it go? Where's Alan? Oh, what's the 3-year-old's favorite stationery?
Funny enough, she has a set of the a company that we won't mention on stream.
I know what it. Y'all know what it is.
Yeah. So I used to be a fan, and then there were paper issues, and then there were company issues, and then there were product company issues. So I didn't want to get rid of them, and I also didn't want my daughter using my notebooks. So
I am dead right now.
She got some good dot grid paper for her crayons. It's great.
Oh, this is amazing. Okay. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take 2 minutes. I'm going to get Jay some water because he's talking a lot. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. Okay. We're going to break out the plotter. We're going to talk about plotter, and Jay's going to think about while we're going to take a quick break what he can and can't show in his plotter.
If there's everything in here, there's I
don't want you to go whoops.
No, there's only I can't hover over a couple of things, but if you see them, they're not a big deal.
All right, give us 2 seconds. We'll be right back. My be right back screen is for some reason not working, so we're just gonna go the starting soon screen, and y'all just have to chill for a second. Be right back. 1 minute. All right, look how quick we are. Yeah. We're so quick. We don't want to leave y'all hanging. So, one thing I always do on stream is I always do giveaways.
Okay.
Am
I gonna win something?
You could. You could log in on your laptop, log into the stream, and enter the giveaway. That would be amazing because the bot likes really weird stuff to happen. So when we do a giveaway, we're going to do that. The problem is I didn't prepare for a giveaway today. I was kind of off kilter. So let me see what I can find real quick for y'all.
Oh, actually, I cannot connect because.
Oh yeah, I don't have his Wi-Fi. Will it give him a phone? Gosh, even I have to look up the. So it's Toby one there, and then I'll figure out the.
I can just let you.
Just hold it because like
I'm
on the spot and I can't think of what the password is.
That's fine. We're also on stream.
Yeah, we're also on stream, so we're not going to give Brad's internet password out. We are going to give away these Field Notes Trailhead. Speaking of Trailhead, I got the new Tactile Turn. Was that the same name as the Tactile Turn that's coming out that came out last week, the Bigfoot edition? Let's give this away.
I was trying to remember how to get here. I went through some messages and I remembered seeing a conversation we had about how we wish that Field Notes would come out with a special Braves edition.
Oh yeah.
Like, that would be great.
Did I actually reply to your text? Because that's one of my great things I do for Jay is he'll send me a text and like 2 days later I'll remember to reply.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when the Braves won the World Championship last year, we're like, Braves edition.
I was like, come on, that's just too easy.
Yep. All right, let's do Field Notes Trailhead. We'll do this giveaway. And then we'll get into some Plotter. Toasty, I have not seen the Plotter 5th anniversary. If you got a link, I will pull that up. I hadn't seen any of that. All right, let's open this up and we'll keep chatting. Jay, you didn't forget how to get to your mom's place now.
No, they picked us up from the airport. So. I would have gotten lost had I had to drive myself because driving through Atlanta is still a mystery to me.
Denise, Rob, welcome, first time chatter. Marty, your Tactile Turn's coming today. Nice. So I've got the mini coming. I talked to Will. I've got the mini coming. So I have one of each size now. So I'll be able to compare them all for y'all.
The hype machine is working. Raffle.
Yeah. So we do this every stream. We give 1 or 2 things away every stream. Whoever won the giveaways last Thursday, I forgot to ship your stuff this weekend. Sorry, but they're over here. I'll ship them today or tomorrow.
I think someone put in refill.
So some of them put in waffle. Some of them like try to bribe the chat bot.
I think if you put
let's see if I can remember my password fast enough.
Like maybe that's.
Oh, here it is.
Oh yeah, you can just share it, right?
That's what I was looking for a minute ago. So let's see if it happens. All right, now go enter. Go.
Yeah.
Let's see. You have 50 seconds. You can get there.
Oh, you
can do it. I have faith. So if Jay enters this raffle and wins, we're just ending the stream.
Are you? Wait, what? You're not. No, this is one of those moments where I'm like, wait a minute, that's
an old thing.
Yeah. Okay.
April says USA is getting stuff about a month later. Okay, we will pull this up.
One of those people that just join streams whenever you're giving something
there he
away.
is. KJ Miller raffle. Exactly. Does Jay have to email you his address? I make everybody. Jay will have to email me his address for sure.
I'm pretty sure you have it already.
I'm going to send this in the mail. I'm not even going to hand it over. He's going to get questionable sushi as well. He'll get questionable sushi. You don't know that stream meme. There is I always put like little stickers and things so I can remember the name on there. And then I was opening these sushi
like washi tapes.
Yeah, like little washi tapes. These are like little notebook markers here, and there's one of them whose design is a little bit more questionable in relation to the rest of them.
I can
aside from the chef, there's one that looks like something that it shouldn't look like, and so that one's called questionable sushi. So some people do ask for a questionable sushi sticker on there.
That's actually something. Washi tape isn't a thing that I've brought into my system yet. Not for not wanting to. I mean, I think you're one of the people that knew before that. I mean, my initial introduction into like analog stationery came from Japan. So like I lived there for 3 years and spent a lot of time where like stuff like this was widely available. And from that, I was like, washi tape was introduced at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's never really stuck for me. I tend to just be someone who writes chicken scratch all over the place and makes things work.
I love the idea of washi tape. I use it some, but it's not integrated at all into anything. So
I think if I were doing more like active journaling of things that were happening, like that would probably be a little bit more important. Yeah. But I mean, book darts, I think to me were the big hack.
Yeah.
Love book darts.
Okay, we can talk about that. Yeah, I love that. All right, let's pick a winner here. Oh.
Okay.
Almost Jay. Almost Jay. Alt Del. You won. You win. Do you want questionable sushi, or I have corgi? I have corgi stickers. We're still using Toby stickers and whiskey stickers. So
I need
like
a laptop sticker.
You do.
I need like a TPA laptop sticker.
If we have stickers, it's you. Email me hello@penaddict.com, and I will add this to the stash of stuff that I need to ship. All right, let's talk plotter real quick.
Let's talk plotter. That's it. How's the wallet size? It's bigger than I thought.
So what we were gonna do? It's bigger than you thought.
It's bigger than I thought.
That's not the wallet size.
Okay.
So I have my Narrow sitting on the desk because I've been using that. We'll talk about that. Before I knew what time you were coming over today, what I was gonna do was build the wallet size on stream. But we can do that another day because I don't even know where I put it. I didn't get it prepared. Once Jay said it, I'm on the way. I started going a different route.
For some reason, I thought I had mentioned when I was planning on swinging by, and I looked through it too, and I didn't see it. So I was like, maybe I told myself this.
This is the guy that doesn't respond to your text for like a day.
Or maybe we call. I don't know. Maybe I called you. I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows? All right. All right. Jay really uses the plotter well. Like, he was showing me some things. I think you do. Well, compared to me.
The actual plotter is new. The inserts I've been using for about a year.
Okay.
I wanted to try out, because I had never used like a Hobonichi. I'd never used any type of like
switch seats
like
with me.
binder system. Okay.
You come on the camera because you're going to do the show and tell, and it'll be better for you
I'm
to
gonna save bandwidth and make sure that I'm not.
Oh, we're fine.
The stream anymore.
We're fine in here. Hey, that was a free view, Jay.
Oh.
Just kidding.
All right. Here we go.
All right, so you can just go into the camera there.
Yeah. So let's see. We're here. So
yeah.
This is actually where I start, is with the A5. And do you mind?
What's your name?
The fine liner. Where?
Oh, that was in the bag.
Yeah. I figure I'll be kind of doing that probably live as well. So yeah, fine liner brought to you by a company that I think I found for like $5 somewhere. If people have fine liner recommendations,
it's a 0.38 though.
Yeah.
There you go. SEPA. I've never seen that.
I'm pretty sure it was something I found on Amazon. So yeah, I used the A4. And
A5. That's the A5 one.
A5, A4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Base.
Yep. I'm still learning. I actually am starting in Ignore August. If you notice these, there's nothing in here. Mm-hmm. These don't actually serve any purpose other than I usually put my month of things in between them.
Okay.
To kind of serve as a quick recap. Luckily, I haven't done that yet because I've been traveling. So, basically the rest of the year is kind of bare. I took all the stuff out before, right when I got this. Mm-hmm. I was using like a $15 like leather 3-ring binder set that I got from like Michael's.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
Starbucks. This paper is very thin. We can show y'all some like paper tests later.
Yes,
but it's great. Like, it handles everything.
So this is kind of a daily. Let me make sure this is cool. Okay, yeah, this one's fine. There might be a bad word on there.
We're okay with that.
Okay, cool. I'm actually also here for a wedding, so I have like a deferred, like things I need to keep on my radar for a long time, but ultimately that as you can tell, doesn't get used.
I like that it's just straight up called deferred dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
That's the thing that everyone complains about with analog systems. Like, oh, but what do you put, how do you keep track of things that have to happen, 6 months from now? It's like, well, I have a special sheet of paper that I go to. And if it doesn't happen in the next, 2 months, it goes on that sheet of paper.
Yep.
Which, funny enough, this is happening this month, but I wrote it back in. This is when I actually wrote this in, February when I had to remember in July to go get my tux figured out. So this is kind of the system, and this is why I like plotters. That one, they're nice enough to give me markers, but when I'm done with a week, I just kind of slide that back in that.
So show people who aren't familiar with this. This isn't the same format page, but it's the same size and same style. So Plotter will send you this.
Yeah, this.
And what's this page called? Do you remember the format?
I think it's just called the...
Toasty can help us out.
It's not the planner, or not the planner view. It's the memo pad, I think.
Okay. And then this is just the standard notebook page.
Yeah.
So these are designed to fit in A5 width, but an A4 type length. So you'll fold them up.
Actually, when I was flying in, I actually had them included in. So, and I just stuck it in my bag straight up. I was like, oh, that's great. But yeah, so I usually write all of my productivity style things on this one piece of paper, except for meetings or long-standing projects, and I can kind of expand this out a bit how I do it. I got rid of the backlog. The backlog was things that I was bringing in from the previous giant piece of paper. Honestly, there was, as you can tell, there's never really a lot happening here, so I just started putting it in tasks and leaving it at that. Events aren't necessarily calendar complete, but they are very much, hey, these are things that are happening this week that I need to be aware of. Also, thank you for the Prime sub. I'll say that for you.
Toasty says the A4 refill memo pad comes in 4mm dot grid and isometric. Okay.
Yes, and I still have never seen anyone use the isometric. That's the one I want to see. That my brain can't process that.
Yeah, good in pictures.
It looks cool.
Could we actually use it? Right.
I don't know. Maybe not for me. Maybe for architects and artists, I will give them that. Then I have projects which are a running list of usually all of the active projects I'm working on. So if you want to see all the fun things I'm working on from the first of last month, you can kind of see those there. And then kind of my running task list. I don't put every task there. I tend to put hey, I need to make sure I go do this and leave those in. And then what I call excursions. If anyone is familiar with Brett Terpstra, I stole his web excursions page, which is literally hey, these are the things I found on the internet. And from there, things that I find, maybe not necessarily on the internet, I will store those in something like Pinboard or whatever. But if something happened or if someone said something and I want to be thinking about that for a long time, then it goes here. Okay. I guess this is what people would often call maybe a rapid log or something like that.
Yeah.
And then usually the back is just meetings that I've had. And actually I can talk about this because this is a project that is finally off the ground. So this was for the Python community podcast. Oh, nice. All those folks in Python, as you can see, I like coffee. That's a thing. We actually launched this podcast 2 weeks ago, and it's a weekly show where we talk about things in the Python community that don't involve having to actually install something. So stuff in the news that tends to get overlooked that still has a good, it may have an impact on Python developers everywhere. And I'm a big community advocate. I've been in the community. My co-host, John, is a longtime conference organizer. He's been organizing conferences for, I think, over a decade at this point for the Python community. So it is definitely those moments of two people from different places trying to kind of talk about stuff. Do I rank each item?
Yeah. What do you mean Starbucks on which type of setup on the on the previous page or on these projects? And thank you for the link to Conduit. Y'all can keep spamming that in the chat.
Oh yeah, please do. Yes, absolutely.
So is there any type of, I guess, organization within, say, tasks? Do you use, I see like little notations next to it, X's and arrows. Do they have like a priority? Is there a completion type of thing?
Yeah, completion is an X, an arrow means I'm throwing it over to the next page.
Okay.
I do try to at least throw them complete. The triangles are for projects. Usually a triangle means that there's another piece of paper in here. One of the A5 dot grid, just standard papers.
Standard.
Yeah. Or it'll be managed in something like a GitHub or things like that. Gotcha. Do I archive my stuff? I will come back to that. Yes. And then like priority A, B, and C or 1, 2, 3. No. I believe in the school of thought that if everything has a priority, then nothing is a priority. So I have things. The one thing I will put is like, you notice this is in red. That means I used this pen, my 580. Red means, hey, please look at this and please do it. Like that's about if there were a priority, it's the red pen. Okay. Usually once it hits red, it needs to be done like that week.
Plotter specific question before you move on.
Okay.
So a lot of people aren't familiar with the plotter, and so the notebook comes, with the rings, and you can set up however you want, and then the pads come separately, and the pads are glue bound into these pads. Will you take this project page? Does it exist here first?
Yes.
Okay, and then you take this page off, and it goes in here. Then you continue.
Yeah,
okay.
I've tried to do the leave it in the book, and then pages rip, and then it's like, well, do I want to go buy like the whole covers? And the answer is yes.
Someone already said the donuts.
Yeah, you should buy the donuts. Support Plotter, that way they keep putting out products. But for me, I tend to just write directly on the pad, and then when I'm done, I fold it into it, and then I put it into here. Aren't they very expensive?
Yes, all plotter things are very expensive relative to like a lot of things. But
this is like $18. That's not bad.
The paper is actually a really good deal,
and you
don't
get
have to
two
have
of
this.
them.
Yeah, you get 2 in this pack.
Yeah,
you don't even have. Don't listen. I don't know if Penguin's Creative is here. Don't listen. But you could just buy the pads like separately, and they're awesome.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
When we had this conversation for a while, like when Plotter first announced the U.S. launch, I was very much like, I'm interested in this system. I like the modularity of it. I think this is going to be good for me. But I'm not in a position to where I can, hey, I bought a piece of leather. How much was that leather? It was a good bit.
Yeah.
And then the only reason I wound up getting the pad was it was either this or a Remarkable tablet. So I had saved up already, and I was like going back and forth, and I was like, this has been working for a year.
Yeah.
Let me just double down on the thing that's been working and kind of just do that.
So that's what's good with Plotter. If you don't know about the system, you can test drive it, right?
Yeah.
Just from the paper part, like, does this type of stuff work for me? Is this going to work is it going to help me do my job or, my personal life, however you want to build it?
Yeah.
Before you invest in like the covers and the hardware and stuff like that. You can go to plotterusa.com. There's all kinds of different levels of covers and sizes. There's too many to speak of.
I can't remember if they have a vegan friendly leather.
It's coming soon. So Toasty Treat was working for Plotter in San Francisco, and we got to test out the new vegan stuff. I hope they do it.
Well, it'll fit
nice.
in Midori, right? I mean, if you wanted to, you just have to worry about the glue.
Yeah. But in the Midori, the way they're bound in is by elastic. Right, so you have to have it. It'll split the page.
Okay,
right? So it wouldn't work that way.
Yep.
But yeah, the vegan stuff is great. I really hope they do it. I will bang that drum. I don't think it's going to take much for them to do it. I think the feedback was overwhelmingly positive on the feel. So.
It's definitely a thing that unless you have a good reason why not, then why not?
Yep.
So definitely in support of that.
All right, good. I got you off track here. I wanted to see if you did the on the pad before in the book.
Yeah.
Generally, yes.
Yeah, usually it's on the pad because if it comes off the pad and goes in the book, I could rip the page. Or if I just leave it on my desk, then who knows what'll happen. My daughter will come and snatch it or something. Yeah.
So this spread is a weekly spread, right?
Yes.
So you're going to talk about archiving, or you're going to hold that for a little bit?
Yeah. So in terms of archiving, I did my first archive once I kind of solidified. By the way, I it's a conduit trope. We all have a system. We all give our systems names. Mine is called the Domi method. If you are into music, especially jazz, anything experimental, check out JD Beck and Domi. JD Beck is this amazing, like, fast-paced drummer, and Domi is a French pianist who, like, just holds it down, like brings like order to the chaos, and that's where I was like, this is the order to the chaos.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah,
Carly, we have Jay Miller from Conduit FM.
Hey.
I like to say you're just from Conduit FM because that's how
that's fine. That's fine.
He's from Microsoft. Give me the job title again.
Senior Cloud Advocate for Python at Microsoft,
and an awesome plotter user. So we're breaking it all down here. Not Ty Domi. That is more fisticuffs related. Are you familiar with Ty Domi?
I'm not.
He's a hockey player, and he had small man syndrome.
Oh, no.
So he would just go around wrecking fools. He was known as a fighter, but he was like 5'6". So that would be the opposite.
So I'm a big fan of like the NHL like series, like the video game series.
Yeah.
And usually if I do like the career player, my player always leads the league in hits and penalty minutes.
So Ty Domi still had I think back in like some of like the 90s NHL stuff, he was one of like the Bo Jackson Tecmo Bowl.
Okay.
Like the Ty Domi like fighting attributes were like 99. Except
basically if you unlock the cheat code, it just became a fighting game, and Ty Domi was always the one that
was
won.
Putting the blood on the ice.
He was like Goro in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, exactly. So that was he was an interesting cat for sure.
Yeah. So this will last me the entire week. Like I said, because I don't do everything 1000% in here. Some of my I actually have a sticky note that I keep on my monitor, not of passwords because that's rude. Use a password manager.
Don't do that.
But of all of my recurring meetings. So then I just stick it to the page. And so that tends to be like my people are like, how do you do recurring events? Funny enough, sticky note right on the page. When it's done, lift up the sticky note, put it back down.
Nice.
And then you're good. And also the giant wall calendar that's there as well.
God, that's a pretty good idea. I like that because recurring is one of the bigger challenges for analog.
Yeah.
Right? So unless you're going to write out in the future, which you're always worried about screwing up or things change, having a movable sticky note. See, I learned something already.
So the question about do I archive old pages? Yeah. So as you can tell, this is just of August, and then September I'll probably start later on today. The everything else, I bought one of the plotter storage, like the actual refill storage, and I actually use that as my archive.
Okay.
So I just took everything out, put it in there, closed it off, put it on the shelf, and there, all of my archive is there. It keeps my notebook thin. Not that that's necessarily a problem because it usually just stays on my desk, but at the same time, you start wanting to flip through pages and stuff. It's a lot nicer to do that. And then we talked about book darts. Hey, we got a raid.
Queen Panda, thank you for the raid. I appreciate you. Hope you're having a great day. We're talking about plotters today with my friend Jay Miller. Hope you had an awesome stream. Thanks, Raiders. Y'all come in, hang out. We're laying it all down on the plotter system today. April's gonna be mad she's not here, I think.
Oh,
Kate with the new sub, the resub, 23 months of subbing. Thank you so much. All right, how do you manage to keep your paper schedule up to date with what is currently in Outlook? Look at you, brown nosing the Microsoft person. That was obvious, Kate. Wow.
So luckily for me, most of my meetings are recurring, and I tend to, again, that's where the sticky note comes in, because I just have to write it on the sticky note and I migrate that from page to page. New meetings don't tend to happen unless I'm like planning a stream or something with someone. And in that case, I just write it down in here first and then go back and do the Outlook stuff once I need to send invitations out to people. I don't tend to get pulled into many events, right away. So usually when I'm doing my beginning of the week thing, there's something that's been on my calendar for quite a while.
Yeah, we don't have a guest command live today, which I should. Jay and I came up with this about 5 minutes before I went live.
Yeah. I sent him a text message and it was like, "Hey, I'm going live. Do you want to join?"
Queen Panda just shows how awesome you are at streaming to like be prepared. Oh, it's like, oh, Brad has a guest. Let's hit the guest command and see. So Brad doesn't have to keep repeating the links all over.
I feel bad for anybody that goes to my stream. They just type stuff and it's like I don't have any of that. I have like VS Code open and my face and music playing. That's all that's happening.
If someone can drop the Conduit FM link into the show notes again, into the chat again for Queen Panda. You're testing my streaming skills. I mean, we're at a solid D. If there's a
That's
grade,
okay. I mean, you're using like Streamlabs and all that. Like, I use OBS.
So streaming is good. Stream preparation is probably F grade.
Yeah, I will say you've got the setup. I'm going to be asking. I need one of these. Because I would love to do a similar setup.
So what he's pointing at is what Toasty Treat recommended, this boom arm, and this is like a no joke boom arm. I'll have to take a picture of it outside of stream. It is like the heavy duty, can hold all the things, adjustable in every direction boom arm for this top down camera that you see here.
I think the one thing for me is like I would love to use this for either a top down or for my teleprompter.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're doing presentations live, teleprompter, it's a really valuable tool. Underrated. Use your iPad, something like Luna Display, where you can mirror your desktop directly on it.
Yep.
Oh man, it makes you look so much better when you're giving a talk, and that way you're not like constantly glancing over to stuff.
Yeah. If I threaten every now and then to do videos, and if I did videos, I would definitely do teleprompter. Like if I did like pre-planned. It's not like this just live streaming.
I mean, you
off
should.
The cuff.
That would be great.
Yeah. So I know in our community, Fig Boot on Pens, if y'all know Fig Boot, he's done a behind the scenes and showed his teleprompter for the scripts he lays out for the videos. It's great. Oh yeah, it's great. So, is the Conduit link for your guests? Yes. And the Twitch link is the same.
The Twitch, is just my at.
At KJ.
Yeah, and that is a very, very chill Python programming stream that I do normally.
All right, what else we got in this plotter?
I mean that's kind of it. I can
mostly like your weekly plans.
Yeah, I have
random notes.
some loose leaves here for a series that I'm doing, and can I? Nope, not that one either. Oh yeah, travel checklist that I was going to start, and then ADHD kind of kicked in, and we never finished that, and now I'm here. So
no, thank you, Queen Panda. I really, really appreciate that. You know, if we had better.
I appreciate the follow.
Yeah, so y'all drop the ad in there. Thank you, Mr.
There it is. There
thank
it is,
you,
right there.
Thank you.
Actually, keep an eye on that too, because I can't promise some Conduit stream stuff while I'm here, because I got to talk to this guy about that. But there might be some Conduit stream stuff happening.
Nice.
Yeah. St. Jude. It's St. Jude related.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gosh, it is September. Yeah. So since Jay mentioned it, the Pen Addict Twitch raffle today at noon. Watch the blog for the first goods up on the stream, up on the blog. The raffle that we do for St. Jude's every year, we're gonna have the first batch of goods, and as I go to Orlando, there's gonna be a lot more added to this. I already have emails that I'm waiting on pictures on to add, so y'all check that out. If you have done it or participated in before, you know what to expect. If you don't, we'll have all the details in there. So it'll be up at noon, so probably a little bit after we're done with stream today.
Yeah, it'll be up.
Yep. All right, so what pens do you prefer in your plotter the most? Any of them? Like, I mean, all these fountain pens are going to be good.
The 2000 is probably
main plotter pen.
It's funny enough, like I said, these are the two that I use mostly, and this is actually the daily driver. But you might even be able to see a little bit of scratchiness in there. It's probably not coming in on there very well. This just writes like butter, like every time.
I'm gonna reach over. I'm gonna do the pen dork thing while Jay's.
Here we go. We're gonna. This is when you know you're with the elite, where he pulls out a magnifying glass and takes a peek at it. It may just be that the ink dries fast. I don't know.
It's really not bad. We can look at it. That's a lot of tipping on a medium sailor nib.
Yeah. So, The only thing with it too is I think I wouldn't have as much of a problem if I wrote more, But I think
Yeah.
because I'm just constantly writing like small little bits and things like that, it never gets time to let the ink flow. The Twisby, writes well every time. We had this conversation. I want to say I can't remember if it was the Lamy that was my first. This isn't a gold nib, right?
Yeah,
it is. Okay,
so
yeah.
the 2000, all the 2000s are gold nibs.
So the 2000 was my first gold nib.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was kind of hooked because I love the smoothness of the gold nib.
Yeah. Jay's escalation has been fun to watch. It has been it's been a strong trajectory.
Yeah. Well, I told you about the cross pin that I had, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess for the chat, I worked at a company for 5 years, and then for 5 years they give you this cross pin, but it was a ballpoint, and I was like, I wonder like how hard it would be to just take like a fountain pen nib and like throw it on there. And they actually didn't sell them on their website, so I called their support desk and said, like, hey, how do I get, like, a replacement fountain pen nib for this? And they're like, oh, well, it's this special link. It's, like, $25 for a replacement nib. And, like, the price difference was, like, $300. So I saved about, $270 just getting a nib for my ballpoint cross pen and turning it into a fountain pen.
It's unbelievable.
But yeah, like all the pens before that, Pilot Metropolitan was definitely the starting point. I was really surprised with the Lamy 2000 because I didn't like the Lamy Safari. And then I got a Lamy, I forgot what it's called now for my wife. It's like kind of their entry pin, like right above the
like
Safari.
The Studio or the All-Star is the aluminum barrel, still Safari shape, like with the grip. The Studio is a more like a conical shape metal grip, kind of nice looking. Then they have a bunch in that range. The CP1 is a thin.
It may have been the Studio. The Studio was the thing that like I wanted to point to. That one.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of it, and I think again a lot of that was like the rigidness of the steel nibs.
Yeah.
So once I went to the gold nibs, I was very much like, this is what I want from now on. And the only reason I got the 580 was because the 580 was the one steel nib that I really just enjoyed. And I had a 580 before, and I dropped it and it shattered, and I was so sad.
Yeah, that'll happen.
And I've had a plenty of Twisbys before. I've had 2 Ecos. I've had again that 580 that shattered. I have a Vac Mini where the vacuum seal is just done. I don't know.
Okay, I've done that before. One of them.
Yeah, so like now the whole vacuum thing just doesn't work. So I'm well, time to get a new one, I guess. I don't know.
If you couldn't tell, one of the things when Jay asked me for a pen recommendation, it is so detailed. Like that's in a good way, right?
Yeah.
So like, exactly what you want, right? And to be able to like tell someone to say like, hey, I need a suggestion for a pen, and it's not just price or it's not just nib. It's like, I want all of these things, and like sometimes like I can't answer it like really quickly, but like I appreciate like the level of detail, and it's always the same, and we try to find the right things, right?
It's also like, not even that, but like paper. You remember the quest for the new replacement for the Tomoe River paper, which funny enough, I listened to Tokyo Inklings too, so like I'm just like, I don't care what they do, I just want it like whenever it comes out. And I think it was between getting the plotter system or getting the Midori notebook. And
speaking of which,
hey, hello there.
Jay just throwing me prompts over here. So we have a giveaway today.
Okay, that one I am going to try to enter. I don't know how many times I can hit raffle, but like...
this is on the blog. So today, the new Sanzen Tomoe River paper, I was able to pick up one of these writing pads from Yamamoto Paper at the San Francisco Pen Show. So we'll break mine out. I'll let you test it out. So I got 2 of these, one to give away, one to like test and review. So it's an A5 pad, so it'll just have a bunch of sheets in it, so you can take some with you and see if you like it. So
yeah.
So Xylocorp's mentioned in here. I have friction pens right now. They're erasable for uni notes, so the ink disappears with heat. We learned something, and I think Toasty can correct me if I'm wrong, when we were in the paper class. one of the biggest considerations that 1101, the Hobonichi company, has when picking out a new paper for the new notebook is the amount of friction, pilot friction erasable gel pens that the Japanese market uses. That's one of their biggest considerations now, which just blew my mind. They actually even wrote it. The link's probably too buried for me to pull up their ad copy on one of the 1101 pages. They don't call out the friction by name, but they call out specifically that it's good for erasable inks, and there's like only one good erasable inks. The friction market is so big in Japan that Hobonichi considers that when they're building notebooks now. So think about that for a second. All the fountain pen stuff we want, and we want all this paper to work great for our fountain pens. You know what Hobonichi cares about? The pilot friction.
That's been the biggest thing for me. Is like, I mean, I thought long and hard about if I was going to pack my pens, because I remember the conversation of like, yeah, if you pack them, be careful, make sure they're like pointing up, that way ink doesn't spill and stuff. So yeah, I have been thinking about when does my pen game branch back into like ballpoints and things like that, just for those moments. But honestly, I mean, I don't go too many places, so being able to just sit at my desk and when I travel, I don't take any of this with me, which is why I was like the smaller size. I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
I see Cowboy Bebop fan. Funny enough,
There's a second one up there.
I used to do a Cowboy Bebop watch podcast called Dev Otaku, and it was 3 developers watching through Cowboy Bebop and like just giving him. Cowboy Bebop is top 5 for me.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah, so Toasty mentioned the paper class. He said it was more friction friendly. So this new version of Tomoe River paper, that was an important thing. So
yeah.
Spoiler alert: do whatever you want with your pens when you fly. Not incorrect. Like I no longer really sweat like bringing fountain pens. Now I'm not gonna do just something like
I'm not gonna
crazy.
Throw them in my luggage. Not gonna throw them in like my checked bag.
But I'm not gonna be like crazy specific about how I'm storing them. You know, if I have like a pen case, like if I have my Sinclair, I will if I remember, I'll take it out the bag, sit it in the back of the seat. If not, it's under the chair or in the overhead. I
am still mad that the last time I came by to visit, you didn't have these Sinclairs.
We'll take care of him this
time. Okay, that's good. Actually, funny enough, I should tell you, the one thing my wife told me, she was leaving, she's like, just remember your birthday is coming up. You're allowed to get whatever you want. Once you hit a certain threshold, that's your birthday present.
Yep.
I was like, and also she did throw out there, by the way, if you come back with a pen for me too, I won't be mad. So there might be.
I like this.
We might have to have some conversations.
This is a challenge that I'm up for. Will there be any writing samples with the plotter paper? We can definitely show you. I can show you a couple of.
I've actually got to plan my entire. I got to do my week plan thing. So I mean, I can even do that.
You want to lay it out? You want to?
Yeah, I can do that. That's easy enough. This is.
You want your water? You good?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. We can flip the camera over, and I will leave these here. Like I said, I am sorry for everyone looking at the screen. I am left-handed. Do you have a ruler?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I have a ruler?
I mean, I figured you'd have a ruler.
Where's the ruler live, chat? Let me see some emotes. We just got the new Smand emotes uploaded today. So this one. Okay. And then we have like a little brass too, with like a more flatter edge.
There was some. I think you said it was Toasty that was with the plotter system.
At San Francisco, they were working the table there.
So I have the like measurement sheets and things. Mm-hmm. I would definitely if somehow there could be like a place inside of the actual like plastic to do lines. That would be great.
Oh, like a stencil?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like even if it were like a thin area for stencil, like it fits this size only.
So we'll pass that. We'll pass that on to April. We do have a plotter employee that's sometimes here, but they're on the West Coast, so this is pretty early for them. Yeah. But Toasty is a plotter advocate.
I like it.
And a
Advocates Unite
show worker.
You do what I do for the pen world. Like I love that. I mean when I retire, that might be for me. Like. So yeah, usually what I do, and I've been playing around with this a little bit more. What I'm thinking about doing now is actually reducing the amount of size for my excursions, and then just having, and I'm going to try to line these up as
3D
much as
print your
possible.
own plotter accessories. That's
I mean,
amazing.
That's kind of cool. Oh, okay. Well, that did not work as well.
And have
as I thought it
another
would.
fine one if you need one. If it didn't travel well.
There we go.
So what Jay and Toasty are talking about, I'll show you real quick. The plotter system comes with these built-in kind of plastic inserts.
Yeah.
And there's different things you can use them for. So Jay's talking about having like a cutout stencil in one of these, which would be cool.
And I actually have the clear one. And then, yeah. And then,
Oh, yeah. I have that somewhere. There is a clear ruler, like
Yeah.
a removable ruler.
Yeah, but there's no stencil part for it, so you
Yeah.
wind up just
Like
turning
this.
to
Sorry,
the...
I literally have it sitting right
Yeah,
here.
right there. Perfect.
So,
Yeah.
let me show this here real quick.
Yeah.
So, this is a ruler page you can use, but like there's no
Yeah.
cutouts on the inside
Yeah,
of it. So.
exactly. So like even if it was just like one spot, like I can do all the measurements and stuff, but I want it quick. Like, oh, perfect. Let me line that down and then go along the grid there.
Something on paper. Thank you for the 23 months of subbing.
There
You're
we go.
awesome.
So yeah, this is my setup. Feel free to.
All right, so tell everyone the block meaning again. I know you're about to write them down. but
Yeah.
what do you-
So I'm actually gonna put this. I keep forgetting. I'm bringing it close to me so I can write. But like this long side here is where I'm going to keep all of my tasks. And the reason I'm making it long is I mentioned that community podcast. We started getting people contributing to it in terms of like code contributions. So a lot of this is like, I need to go review this. I need to have these open conversations with people, or I need to talk with, my co-host about that. And like, I was using like just GitHub issues for all of the things. And I had like 60 something issues in there. And as I mentioned, like, that's when anxiety starts kicking in. And it's like, no, I need to get this on paper. But like, the little task section just wasn't going to do that.
Yeah. We woke April from her slumber. Penguins Creative.
We did it.
Sorry, you were summoned.
So yeah, so this is actually going to be my task session, and I'm self-conscious about this. I write funny.
Hey,
Nobody say anything.
yeah, they are probably more in line with you than with my like just basic like super traditional writing.
Oh,
So
yeah,
let's
no.
go. They're gonna be happy.
I hold a pen between my index and my middle finger, and I overhook
Let's go.
badly. So
Let's go.
yeah,
Look at this.
this is where I'll throw tasks in, and again I just write it out. That's what it is.
We need a new emote with Jay's grip.
Oh, the J grip. If you get that, I'm going to steal it. I will sub just so I can steal it and use it in my own chat. And then I have events, and then I have projects, and I will probably also have ink on my palm. So yeah, and then down here we have excursions. And actually, this kind of thing that we're doing now is an excursion. So this would be like, hey, live stream with Brad, like that is something that I want to be thinking about.
So what I'm looking at, chat, I'm gonna hijack Jay while he's writing.
Yeah.
The actual nib writing angle is good. Like that's how much overhooking and rotation you have in the nib, the way you grip it, to where the fountain pen nib angle is pretty good.
Okay.
In the end result, it's working. Like I can see like how it works.
Yeah.
So like chat says, how whatever gets ink on the paper, right?
Exactly. And then, again, I'm speaking at a conference tomorrow. Do I only use left-handed nibs? No, I use whatever nib comes on the pen.
There is such a thing as left-handed nibs, but there's no such thing as like left-handed nibs that only lefties only use. Like it's generally not enough benefit because it's so angle dependent. And if you look at like Jay's handwriting, he has his own unique angle, so he would just blow out any consideration of having a left-handed nib. It does not matter. It's the way he angles the pen matters. And he actually angles the pen to the left a little bit, but it's in a traditional, the actual nib is hitting the page at a traditional angle. He's not going to really benefit from that.
So Marie asks, is my grip part of why I didn't like the Safari? Yes.
100%.
1,000%.
Yeah.
And that's also why I like the 2000, because of that kind of, I call it like the bulb shape, where it thickens out near the middle. So that part actually tends to be my, like, I guess the V in my hand tends to grip right before the bulb hits like its highest point, and it just kind of fits naturally there. The pyramid in the All-Star gave me cramps. It gave my hand started cramping.
Yeah. So, do you have extra stress in your wrist? Do you get writing fatigue, you think, based on your grip, or no?
So I again, if everyone feels like I'm sharing a lot about myself,
welcome to the stream, Jay. This is what we.
I'm trained by Conduit to just be very, very transparent.
Yes.
There's a family genetic autoimmune issue that I have that rounds ultimately to eventually lupus. So I actually have rheumatoid arthritis. Doing anything for an extended period of time causes pain. So writing, yes, but I don't think it's necessarily because of how I write. I think it's just the nature of it.
Just all of it. Yeah. It just is.
So I love like a lot of they write to cancel out angling. So one of the things you might have noticed is every time I go to pull this thing and I have to remind myself, I tilt it.
Yep.
And that's so that I can like move at the angle that I'm comfortable of. Yep. But red pin alert, that means I have something important, and that is I have to finish my slides for the talk I'm giving next week. So I'm going to make sure that that's in red. And then everything else is just kind of, it is what it is. And then again, projects, as things come up for projects, do I have any? I mean, of course, there's PCN, Python Community News, so I'll throw that out there.
While you're reading this, I'm going to read this comment from Marie. I feel you on the doing anything leads to pain. I was diagnosed with arthritis in my mid-20s. I also have an odd pen grip and angle my page quite a bit to make up for it. So,
I'm definitely there. That's kind of really the only big project. Oh, yeah, I have my Tetris project. I mean, if we want to talk gaming, I'm a big Tetris fan.
Well, you can't just drop that in and not elaborate.
So when I say Tetris fan, I've watched the documentary a few times. I keep up with the classic Tetris world, and who's doing amazing things in it. I have 9 copies of Tetris at my house, including some portable like toy versions. But I do have the 1988. So I literally have a version of Tetris that is older than I am. So that's always fun. I have multiple copies of the same version of Tetris for different consoles. Like,
of course you do.
And this was ADHD like medication before I knew I had ADHD.
Yeah, facts right there.
Yeah, there were definitely days where like I would get home from work and be so scatterbrained, and I tell people the thing I like about Tetris is Tetris gives you the ability to have your brain constantly engaged, but not in such a serious matter that everything is life or death. It's just like, oh, I'm thinking really hard about where I need to put these pieces and how and I'm having to do that really, really quick. So it keeps my brain actively engaged, but then at the end of the day, I line out, and then it's like, okay, well, new game, and then just keep going. Like, no one lost a limb because I didn't get a Tetris.
All right, Tetris fam has woken up. Where was it? Do you have the minuet version?
The minuet version. I'm not sure what that is either.
Right. And then we also have Tetris Battle. Gaiden is best Tetris.
Is
there a best Tetris version in your book?
I still say classic Tetris is classic Tetris. Right. I do really enjoy Tetris Effect. I think Tetris 99 was a really cool concept. The idea of playing playing any type of battle royale game, and then like, puzzle battle royales, just sounds like fun. I wish there was like Scrabble 99. Like that would just be great.
Gotcha. I watched a bunch of Tetris 99 streams when it came out. It was really enjoyable.
Yeah. You'd have dreams about playing. I mean, dreams about Tetris is great. That just means you're committed. I love it.
Yeah.
I can't do rolling. You know, for the people that know what rolling is where they hold the control like an NES controller, and like instead of pushing the buttons, they just hover their hand over the button and they flick the back of the controller. So it allows you to hit.
Yeah. So it's going the opposite direction of input. It's essentially.
It's like that.
Yeah.
And you can actually get good enough at it to where you can flick at the hertz rate. So you get like single line movement pieces at like 60 hertz, which is ridiculous.
That's wild.
And this is how classic Tetris became broken. So you watch like world records jump from like 1.4 million to like 5 million, and you're just like, well, I will never be a pro now.
Minuet version is a version of the Game Boy cartridge with a different song, technically version 1.0.
I don't have the Minuet version then. I do have the NES, or not the NES. I have the NES version of Tetris, but I also have the Game Boy version as well. Yeah.
Have you ever encountered those 3D Tetris machines at the arcade?
I've seen them. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It's just not the same. I do play Tetris Effect in VR though, so that's fun.
All right, so what is the Tetris project you're working on?
So the Tetris project, being that I work for Microsoft and it's my job to talk about different server architectures and things like that, we wanted to create a project that would touch not only server architecture but also data science and machine learning, and also get to use a wide array of different Azure technologies. So we're building a Tetris Coach. And everyone's done that. I've trained Tetris to become infinite, but what we wanted to do is make it so that it could watch you play a game of Tetris and give you, some subtle hints and an idea like, oh, hey, good try on that last one. Maybe that piece should have went over here. You should have thrown that down. That would have set you up for, you would have been Tetris ready in 2 instead of 6. And then be able to give that playback, which is great. And that's kind of the difference between what we're trying to do and what other people have done in the past. Is it's always been like, here's a replay, analyze this replay, and then tell me what's happening. Or it's been, we have this bot that's looked at millions and millions of games, and it's just determined the best way to play, and you're not doing anything. And we wanted to kind of combine those two of saying like, hey, as you're playing, and we're even bringing things like IoT into it, to where we have like red light, you have the little stoplight system. So like when you do something good, you're green light, and as it starts getting worse, it moves into like yellow light, and at the top like red light, go, panic. Nice. So yeah, that's like cool. An active programming project that encompasses a lot of just different architectures, but we don't have to talk about it in like, oh, I built another to-do like demo project.
Well, this is what the comment Starbucks says. I need that bot for my everyday life. Tell me what I'm doing in life wrong.
I mean, yeah, the idea is for it to be like nice hints about it. So maybe it's like, hey, buddy, you didn't file your taxes on time, but
red light.
You can still submit late. That's fine. Late's better than never.
Morning, Skogsy. I hope your move went well. Are you all settled in?
See, this is the thing I love about your stream is that it's that same conduit vibe, that personal touch to it. You do a great job at that.
Yeah. So we Skogsy made this pen.
Okay, when you say made a pen, like that's oh wow. This is
so that's micarta. It's like a fabric material. So unscrew it.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can see this is like threaded texture in there, but it comes through on the threading here. So that's like all these striations here. Yeah. That's the interior material. Show that.
That's what I'm saying. That looks very much like, I would say like a rug, like a rug print.
Yeah. But so it's essentially like glued fabric, for lack of a better term.
This is one of those things that, see, like this up here feels great. Yeah. I do wish it was a little longer. But I mean also like, it's the same size as the slim, but
so I'm gonna get you. I have a couple of interesting nibs that I want you to try later once you get done with this.
Cool. Yeah.
Now I've seen your grip in person, So, chat, I have a Naginata Togi and I have a journaler. So we have 2 directions of
Oh.
nibs. So with this coming over the top,
becomes a choose your own adventure.
well, I want to see what might work, right?
Yeah. So, and then, I just have my events. Most people would normally put like a day or something. I just put like what the thing is. And then I, just do, Tuesday. I'm on the East Coast now. So I think that's at 3. Yeah. I almost put like 12. I was like, that's not going to work well. And then I've got my stand up later, and that's not telling me to stand up. That's when I have a meeting with all of my teammates and we talk about what's going on. And then the way that I separate the days is if it's still Tuesday, I just don't write anything. And that's at 5. And I think that's kind of it. Wednesday, I don't think I have anything Wednesday. I don't think I have anything Thursday. I'm going to skip some lines in here and just throw in. I know actually Thursday I will have some team meeting thing. I don't know what that is, so I'll just throw that there. I usually have 2 or 3 there. Then Friday, I don't think I have any. Oh, Friday I have, PCN, Python Community News, and that is at 6. And that's kind of, and then my sister has a football game. She is a cheerleader at one of the local high schools.
Nice.
So and then I'm going to go to that football game, and that is at 7:30.
Football Friday nights, man.
I was telling someone earlier that I'm glad to be back in a place where college and high school football matters. Mm-hmm. California, it's like USC, that San Diego State maybe, but then like that's kind of it. Like I'm from Knoxville, so go Vols. I don't want to get kicked out, but
I mean, I do like orange. So
that's what I was gonna say. It just seems right.
But not volunteer orange. That orange is gross.
I mean, I like their Smokies better. The smoky gray. I think those are some of the nicest jerseys in college
I lived
football.
in Chattanooga for 4 years. I had enough of the creamsicle orange for a while.
Oh yeah, the mocks.
Yeah,
the mocks are.
That's my wife. Thing. Yeah, my wife went there. That was
okay.
That was a whole name.
Shout out to UTC.
Shout out to UTC, home of Terrell Owens.
Yeah, that is their claim to fame. My cousin actually played softball for the Mocks a while back. Nice. So
yeah. So all right, I want to get these nibs in your hand.
Okay, let's do it.
So
can we do it on the Sanson test paper? That sounds great. This is me. I'll live off of this. All of my primary meetings will go on the back side of this page, and then when I'm done, I will rip this page out and I will put it in my plotter, which is right here.
Open that one up.
Okay,
They do a good job. So this is Yamamoto paper, the new Tomoe River, made by Sanson.
Yeah. So then the question becomes, do you ever think that Plotter would adopt this? Because I think
Plotter's paper is awesome.
I think it's great.
So here's the thing. Here's the Plotter. Here's the reason why they will not.
Okay.
They are part of a bigger company.
They're in the
Designville.
Midori Traveler.
So the Midori paper is a thing.
Yeah.
So they're going to continue on with this diary style paper. For it's their own proprietary thing.
Okay.
So I don't think they're a business that's ever going to say, hey, let's see what these other paper companies can do better than us. Because they do it pretty well. The thing,
so I have the dot grid paper in there. Mm-hmm. And I used to have the to-do list paper. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the waxiness of the to-do list paper.
Yeah, you were telling me it was different.
Yeah, but
I think some other people were saying it was different.
I don't know if that was, maybe I just had an older version. Maybe things updated because I didn't get the notebook paper until
here you go. Alan says Designville makes Tomoe River refills for travelers, so it's possible they would. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's what I was doing for a long time because if you remember the last time I was here, I was using Midori Traveler's notebook.
Yeah,
and I was getting Tomoe River paper that was just cut to size. And then again, unnamed company. The company that I used to work for had a bulk paper cutter.
Okay.
So I would like just take those books, put them in the bulk paper cutter, and cut them down to fit the Midori Traveler size.
Yeah. So you can take the A5 sizes and cut off, inch and a half, and that will fit. Brad, do you know if the new Tomoe River paper is the same Hobonichi is using? I got thoroughly confused by Taizo at Yamamoto Paper. Hobonichi put out a whole page saying exactly what they're doing, and then Taizo said something else, so I'm a little bit confused. I don't know that I can answer that question.
If I remember from your last episode that like Hobonichi did like a big announcement and saying like, hey, we're rolling out new Tomoe River paper, but we're going to do it over the next this coming year, but the year after.
Exactly.
Man, that when you've got it like that you can just buy it that much. That reminds me of like the math like the college professors that do math things that are like the special chalk that they buy.
Yeah.
People are spending like $1,000 to like $5,000 for like a box of chalk, which it's just like, oh, it's just the best chalk in the world. I'm like, that's no. I love you, Brad. I don't $5,000 for like a box of chalk. Like
there's the name. Like we've talked about this in the
past.
Hogaroma
with chalk. Okay.
Yeah. It's you got that chalk and it's amazing. Wow. Yeah, it is crazy. All right. So let's try this. So let's start with this one. This is a more standard nib. This is a journaler nib from Gina at Custom Nib Studio. It's essentially a stub nib. So what I want to see is, a stub nib is basically going to give a wide vertical and then a thin horizontal line.
I can't remember if I remember asking. Are you a poster?
I'm a non-poster.
I am also a non-poster. That is.
We like Jay very much here, chat.
So I can already tell this size of pen to me feels fantastic.
Okay.
This feels.
I will get the 823 in your hands.
And then let's see what's. How about we do?
So we're doing this as a test because I'm gonna give you another nib where the tine will be 180 degrees turned, or 90 degrees. It'll be 90 degrees turned from this. So you'll use your same writing style and compare that to this. So this one has the writing angle is going to be vertical like this.
Okay. So I guess
one of these may not work, period, or one of them may work perfectly.
I'm getting a lot of resistance on this one.
So this is more of an architect-y style chat. So this is the Naginata Togi, which has the vertical kind of grind.
I can already tell that this one would cause consternation. Yeah.
Okay. So like I said, when I saw Jay's grip,
the problem with this though, I don't think I write that big normally.
Yeah. That's a wider nib. So yeah, I was just more feel wise. When I was looking at Jay's hand, the angle of Jay's pen is almost traditional, despite the grip being very non-traditional.
Yeah, this is what I'm seeing now of like definitely getting that stuff kind of merging together where maybe a smaller nib in like this size pen would be great.
Because a lot of lefty overhookers would be able to use this like a traditional lefty overhooker. They still use it like this, would be able to use the more architect style by their grip, but Jay almost gets it into like a traditional writing position.
How do I like a shown pen? Do I have a shown pen?
This one. He's saying how do you like this one. This one and this one, you will like this nib even worse than this one.
Okay.
It's finer.
This is the metal barrel too is also a thing. This is
a little better. This is like an eye exam.
Yeah, this number one or number two.
So that's finer than the other one.
So this one feels better than this, but that same like I don't even know.
You're fighting against the angle.
Yeah,
of the grind
very much.
All right, this is just for a fit and feel. Since it's not inked.
Okay,
we're just talking about shape here. How does that shape feel for you?
This That's I feel my test
short.
tends to be when I do
Yeah,
that
yeah.
because I tend to, like, if I'm writing, right, and I'll stop and I'll do that, and if I
And then you don't post the pins. Okay.
yeah, I just kind of just hang it there. So, sorry, you can't see my hand here. What I'm saying is, normally I hold the pen like this when I'm writing. There's no ink in here, so just writing. And then when I'm relaxing, I do that. And because I do that, I often want something a little longer. That way, if I do that, it maybe stops there, so I can just go back to writing.
Gotcha.
Instead of this, where I'm like, how do I?
Okay.
That. And it's like one of those really, like, funny things because I have the exact same problem with that.
Yeah, because that's the standard Pro Gear or Pro Gear Slim, I guess I should say.
Yeah. So, like, and I've gotten to the point now when I do that, I feel it and it literally, like, drops backwards.
Let Jay loose with the Pen Addict 100 box. Yeah, so up
Oh.
behind you is where all
I've
the
seen
toys
that
live.
box and
Yeah.
I've had thoughts.
Maybe the FC Model 50.
Yeah. Usually, what I wind up doing with these smaller pens is I just set them down and then they roll. But it's what it is.
What do you think about this?
This one though. I really like this pen. This is.
So yeah, I was interested to see how the nibs would work.
Yeah, so this is like perfect. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This longer pen when I'm holding it, and when I stop it, when I just hold it normally, it doesn't go as far down, so I can just, like, throw it right
So
back
it's not,
into
like,
my grip.
Flipping out.
Yeah. I'm also really intrigued by the material on this.
Well, then you're gonna like what I'm about to show you.
You're gonna. I've seen some of these, like.
Tell me the difference in your thoughts on those two. Just size. None of these are ink, so just size-wise, I'm curious.
Okay, I'm gonna look at. We've got this. This was the pen that I like.
That's the one you like.
I think their chat's asking, what is this pen?
Oh, so that is the new Montegrappa Venezia, and I forget the color name. So the pink color has a Venice Canal name, and I can't read. It's not Rio de Janeiro,
So
but
this one's interesting. Again, I mean, I can already look at the nib and be like, that's a lot of nib.
Yeah.
Especially compared
You're used to
mine.
writing with the Lamy 2000. So these are the same make.
Okay.
And, the same maker, but this is like the standard size, and this is like the grande size of the same shape.
Huh. The grande size, like, the grande size is interesting because, like, it's not going anywhere, which is great. Like, I could leave that there. Like, I would have to force it into, like, my hand, which means I can just sit there and, like, again, ADHD, I fidget a lot, and I would love to be able to just sit there and, like, I'm thinking about something, I'm writing on something, I'm doing this a lot, and I know that I'm not going to lose my pen somewhere in my palm. Yeah. That's great.
So we're a little different, and that's about as big as I go normally. Like, I tend to go for the smaller.
This is, you're talking about this compared to this.
Those
and
they're vastly different.
I use the phrase chungus a lot of times because I bought a Mac Studio and I have a Mac Mini next to it. So it's like Studio and its little brother. This is like that same feeling of, like, wow, that's like an inch difference.
Yes, those are our Memento Zeros. So the standard and then the grande. And the green one.
I mean, the standard is even fine. The grande is,
so the
like,
standard.
Wow.
So this is the Pro Gear Slim here,
Yep.
and you can still see that the basic Leonardo is still like a half-inch longer.
Yeah, that's wild. And see, the thing that's always gotten me too is, like, I know that now today I'm allowed to look at grande pens and grande pen prices, but the reason I went with the Slim was this was my first, like, I think $200 plus pen, and I think it wound up being on sale, so I got it for like $180.
Yeah,
but that's when I start, like, pausing, and I'm like, okay, this is. If I get this, like, what nice present do I have to buy my wife as well?
I think we all can relate to that. So chat was saying this also has a blind cap here for fidgeting purposes if you like it. It's not really useful. So this is the converter. It's called a captured converter. Right?
Oh, okay.
It's kind of pointless to where you could just fill the converter like this.
Oh.
I never use it. I always just
use
take
the
off.
piston.
But it's got this extra little... Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was on camera while I was doing this. It's got this extra little captured piece here, where the grande has a piston in it, so it's a completely different internal design.
I mean,
So this is a piston. It's not the same thing, but
I have a feeling that top cap might disappear.
Yep. All right. This is a very straightforward size and shape. I'm curious what you think about that. Because again, this is on the bigger size of things. So this is a Canalea pen.
So this is where like, again, there's a level of like anime-ness about me at times. There's a conversation about like,
It's not captured, just a screwed in converter. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. It's you can remove the converter.
there's
My
a
apologies.
conversation around like Sasuke's sword and how it's like a bad sword. When I saw this and I saw like there's like no, it's almost like just a straight block. I was like, oh, it's like Sasuke's pen. Like this is weird. Like it's not even bad. It's just it's so different. I think it's
is.
because of just the lack of curvature. I can't even tell
Yeah.
if it is curved.
It's
or
barely.
not.
It's got a slight taper.
Yeah.
But it's not really curved.
Oh, I see all the hobbies saying spoke pen if you need a fidget pen. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I still have my spoke pen. That
Yeah.
is, and it doesn't get as much use as it used to, but it's mostly because we don't go out the house that much. But that is my, like, I sign important documents with that pen, and people just flip. Whoa! What did you just do with that pen? I'm like, yeah, I know a guy really good, and then I put a key ring on in between the little loop, and that became quite the fidgeter. I put a key ring like in the top part there so it wouldn't scratch the cap, and I just click like up and down, up and down.
Huh. That's smart. I like that. All right, so yeah, I was curious on just like the size of pen.
So far
how
that
it
grande,
works.
and then I would say maybe this second,
That's
and then the
interesting.
standard third. But I would definitely want a smaller nib because I just don't
Yeah.
write this big normally.
So that's the thing, chat. So what do we think about a big pen with a smaller nib?
Big pen, small nib. I need small nib energy. Like it's like Napoleon syndrome. He drives a big truck. I have a feeling he's gonna be like, "Oh, you mean this? This is like what is?" It's almost like
I'm not the guy. I'm not the big pen guy, right?
it's the scene in Harry Potter where like you're getting a fitting for a wand. It's like yes, this one. This one's been waiting a long time for its owner. Like
Small nib, I can do.
I
all
see
day long.
Sailor Yokaze. I don't know what that is, but I'm guessing that's a thing. Brad is Ollivander. Yes. Long pin, small nib. Yeah, and maybe that's why the vanishing point thing was a thing. Have I tried a Nakaya? I have not tried a Nakaya. Oh, is this the Sailor?
No, that's a Pilot 91. That's
Okay.
That's a special edition one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's try this Nakaya.
Okay. This is interesting.
So this is a 91, chat. I think that's a good. It's at least got the length, if not the width, like the diameter.
I'm guessing
girth.
not inked.
Not inked, yeah.
yeah.
But not an overly big nib. So like a 91
Yeah.
is pretty good.
This, yeah, I could see this. I think it does start to fall into like as I could tell when I just started to slide it down and it like flicked out of my hand. And I don't know necessarily why that happens. And I think it may have to do more with like the front of the nib, not the back. I mean, the back, of course, and then like kind of the thickness in between. But I think it just depends on where I would naturally hold the pin.
So this is more along the sides of your Pro Gear, but longer.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hold the pin closer to the nib because of how it's formed. Whereas with these, I tended to hold it back a little bit, and I don't necessarily know why or how I make that determination. This is a very slick looking pin. This is, I would say, if it were just like if I saw this pin in a store, I would immediately want to try this one. And you said this is the Nakaya. This is an interesting pin. Yeah, and see, it's like this one I'm holding it on the threads, which I don't.
Yeah, so yeah, the barrel threads are a big deal on Nakayas because that's where a lot of like the artwork goes and like the
Yeah. This is a very slick pen. I
But
would
it-
be terrified to ask how much
but it may not
is.
fit like your grip by where that threading is, and the threadings aren't really
Oh,
hidden.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, because like the second I went to like actually get down to write, I felt like a lot of pressure, right here.
So that's a bigger, that's a
Interesting.
more standout, not in like a positive way, but more in just like a very, like external feature that's like really there on the kayaks that you don't see a lot.
That makes me. So what is it? Oh, it's the.
Yeah, so it's taken back in that section. So it's the section design, really.
What we're talking about is like where I'm holding the pin here. When I reach down, this pin, while it's extremely nice and it's very comfortable to hold up, when I hold it down, there's a lot of pressure on my finger. But like this pin, because it has that dip in it, it feels much easier to hold.
Spoke icon with knurled grip. I think it's the icon is too short, and the knurled would probably be uncomfortable. It's not a smooth knurling. It's very aggressive knurling. For I think it's more of the nib size as opposed to the tipping, right? It's more of the 6 versus 5 actual physical size of the nib than the writing line. You like everything, you like fine lines, pretty much.
Fine lines, yeah.
So we can get that in any size nib, but I think it's actually the actual physical size of the nib. That's why I like.
My one complaint against my 580 is I think you can even see up here, like the lineage on here reminds a lot of this one down here where there's a lot of smudging.
That's why I thought something like the 91 might be good, because that's a full length traditional size pin, smaller nib, more like the Pro Gear. Let me see what else.
This is a very okay. I will say if you have someone in your life who is big on pins, or if you are that person, give them this experience, because this is my first time, and I will tell people the first time I tried to go on my own to figure out what fountain pen I wanted, I went into a Mont Blanc store and they asked me, was I planning on financing a pen? And I walked out of that store very quickly. So this is a very, like, I feel like I owe Brad money just for coming in and trying and getting. This is like a pin fitting.
So chat, this is the pin show experience.
Okay,
this same as that one, but this size.
This makes me want to go to the LA Pin Show when it happens.
This is what we do at pin shows, chat.
So this
is that shape.
This is the standard size of this?
Yeah. So it's bigger.
This is what I wanted to get.
Nib, bigger barely.
This is what I wanted to get originally, and didn't, again, because of sale on the Slim, so I went with the Slim. This is... So I am getting the, like, stuck in there, but again, I think I can make an exception because the material is so pleasant. And when I hold it, it's not too much pressure on the hand. Again, I think there's a little bit of the flick issue there, but I think because it's so smooth, I think it travels back into my palm easier than some of the other materials. This is interesting, but also I really do like Sailor pens.
All right, a few more.
Okay. We're
all right.
I've seen that pen before. I don't remember. I think I've seen
that's
maybe
mythic pens. Yeah, okay. But I'm just thinking about the shape of these pens.
It's heavy.
Yeah, that's different. I brought this one out because of its long and skinny.
This, I don't know what pen this is.
It's Auto Hut Design 06.
I feel like a spy with this pen.
It's a great pen.
This feels very much like...
But I don't know how that would fit your hand, honestly. It's different.
Honestly?
Brad, do you have a CP1? I do, but I don't. It's in the other room. I don't know if I can find it.
It's not.
It's thinner than this, though.
It's not. The thinness is weird. Because I think that with it being so thin, I would want to, like, brute strength grip it. And
the weight doesn't allow you to. It's not a feather.
Yeah,
it's not a feather-like
I mean,
pen.
when I picked it up and was like, oh, like
yeah,
like sitting in my hand, like how many pins? Like it's almost. I feel like it's the weight of almost 2 pins. So
Platinum desk pen. I have one. I have that and a Platinum Preppy. We're gonna try too.
I'm really intrigued by this pen. that may be this.
So that's just a desk pen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That one's a pull top.
Okay, I was gonna say I feel like I'm taking all the things with it. There's nothing there.
That's the best feedback. Is like I don't even have any words. I don't even have any words to describe the stupidity that's happening here.
It solves a very real problem.
Yeah.
And it creates a whole new one that I never expected to have. Like, this is, well, I mean, like,
I think we broke Jay's brain officially.
yeah, that. I'm gonna.
Let's just go with no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say probably not on that one. This okay. The platinum preppy. So the platinum prep it also feels like a pull. Yep. Yeah. I think all of my pins are twists except for this one, which is very much a pull. I don't want to not like this pen. The nib is that like Lamy All-Star like nib.
I think that's fair.
Like, I would look at this pen and be like, I don't want to write with this pen.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair criticism of the preppy. Is y'all know I'm the hugest like preppy fan, and I get that. Like, it's like completely fair.
The thing is, if closed like this, I think that is great. I see this and I'm like, how much was this pen? And I'm like, I remember the preppies aren't that much.
This one was like $7 or $8. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So these are like relatively.
But that's like several dollars more than the basic one. The basic one's like $450.
Yeah.
So it's a huge price increase for what it is.
Yeah.
But
and then when I open it, I get like, this is that like old syringe style pen look that also I hear it like
it's got
in there.
So I have an agitator, and so I use the Mount Fuji refills, the blue black refills have built-in agitators in them, so they are.
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, wait, what?
Oh, something on paper. Did I get your resub?
This is an
23 months.
This is an Esterbrook. Okay.
Yeah, so the nib might be too like size-wise.
Yeah,
so this is what we call a number 6 size nib. Did I put away
big nib?
And this is like a number 5 size nib if you compare them. So when I say number 5 and number 6, here, put it in the camera.
Is it like the width of it?
So like the width and length. So wider, longer. It's number 6. Shorter, narrower, number 5.
Okay.
But those are considered like standards.
Okay.
In the industry.
The
Thunder Viking, thanks for 37 months. You're late. Well, we're running long too, so we're having a good stream today.
The Esterbrook, I've looked at Esterbrook's, so I
was curious about the shape.
This.
Yeah, I was curious about the shape.
The shape feels good.
It's very straightforward, traditional.
I think I understand why the desk pen didn't work. So the thickness in the back provides relief up front.
Okay.
So the more comfortable it feels in there, the easier it fits up here.
For all the times I've tried to help Jay with pens, I never understood the importance of the upper barrel shape, which a lot of y'all like won't even consider, right? Like, how does it fit in my hand? You know, what is it? Oh, it feels too heavy or it feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But like for the way Jay grips it, it's very important that this is comfortable feeling because it's really hitting and it's really doing heavy lifting up there.
And that's
more
why,
so than some of our grips.
And that's why with the Lamy, like the Lamy is very much that it does start to taper at the end, but in the midsection as it's fitting on my fingers, it provides, again, more support from my ring finger.
I don't have a 640.
And then with this one, I think this one's just length, honestly. It's just long and the material is nice. It's nice to the touch, so...
I think I do have a Bennu talisman.
That Esterbrook is intriguing. I would maybe third or second between the custom pen and the... I almost called it the Grande because I'm not sure what it's called. And then what was this one?
So that's a Mythic Pens.
Mythic Pens. So the Mythic... Ooh.
But I was thinking about the shape of that one compared to some of the other ones.
That's...
Yeah, I don't have the smaller Esterbrook.
This is... I think this size... I'm interested in that the fact this also has kind of not as much of a bulge to it.
Mm-hmm. So it's slightly tapered, more so than like
Yeah.
the Canalea, which is pretty straight.
Yeah.
Put it somewhere.
That's this one. I might say that this is probably the best one so far.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see this. Oh, this is going to be very much like.
Yeah, it's got faceted barrels. Twist on that one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Ruffles pen. It has ridges.
Mm-hmm. I've never heard that.
This is
a Bennu talisman. So it's their one of their most traditional shapes, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to like the barbell shapes and other.
There's a part of me that wonders if I would, like, if I were to use this as my daily driver, if the grooves would get to me. Mm-hmm. As I mentioned, even with my
Euphoria.
580, the 580 is like I often will write one thing and like one thing only, and then like recap it and go. So it feels good. Mm-hmm. It fits in the hand. I think even as like writing, it provides the support. My concern would just be if I'm using it as like my everyday pen, which is that's kind of what I'm looking for, something to replace, not to replace this, but to repurpose this. Maybe this becomes what has the red ink in it, or something else. But I would say the sizing is right on this, but the way it's shaped is.
All right, should we try the arrow? I thought about the arrow, but I didn't pull it out, Major Bedlam. Let me try that.
This is great. This is like if the optometrist like appointment was live streamed, this would be like perfect. This is what they need to do. Is like, all right, we're gonna fit you for your glasses, but we're also going to do it live in front of like 100 some odd people, and they're gonna tell you how you look.
That's a pull. Just pull that one apart. It's very snappy.
So again, this is another one of those situations where like everything feels good, and the material kind of makes it feel better in the hand, in spite of the giant.
It's very tapered.
Yeah, but I mean, ultimately, I think because it just feels interesting. That's interesting too. I would put that up in the top. I don't think it would be enough to replace any of the ones that are like this one, and then there was the other one, the Grande, and then I'm still just very intrigued by the weight of this. Yeah. Like, I feel like if you're writing with this, everything you write is absolutely important because of how much weight is in your hand.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like I feel like I would not want to write a nursery rhyme with this. I would want to like pen my next book with this. I say my next book like I've written one before.
You will.
We'll get there.
What would be the best pen for a lefty?
Also a beginner.
What was your... So Jay here is a lefty. What was your... Did the Pilot Metropolitan work for you?
It did.
Shape-wise, like grip-wise?
Yeah, everything was fine there. The one thing I didn't like about it was I don't like cartridges. I just feel like I run out of ink like way too fast.
Yeah. So they have converters. They're just pretty trash. They ship them with a squeeze. Most beginners aren't going to use that.
The converter was not a great experience. Mm-hmm. The TWSBI Eco.
That was going to be what I was going to ask.
Was, I mean, when people ask me for like, oh, I want a good starter fountain pen, if they're open to spending, and that's kind of how you can test them, is like TWSBI Eco, I think it's like $30, $45. Yeah. So if you say the TWSBI Eco and they look and they go, that's $45 pen, then you're like, okay, well then I'm going to tell you the Metropolitan or the Lamy Safari.
Right.
But if they're like, what does a $45 or $40 pen give me? Yeah. That's when I'm like, okay, we can have this conversation, and then I can like show all of the pens and say, okay, well, like this is what you would get dialed up, I guess.
Yeah.
So you get this feeling, you get this look and feel, but you don't get the price with this. And that would be when I'm like, I would talk about like, I keep wanting to show them here, but it's like here.
I like the writing part.
Yeah.
I would say I never recommend the Lamy Safari to lefties because they generally have non-traditional grips, and that grip does not work for lefties, as Jay found out, and I think it's most lefties found out. So I would be looking at the Metropolitan or the Eco, just like Jay said.
Yeah. So far, this one is like off the paper, but it's like right there.
Okay, so let me go grab a Franklin Christoph Model 20 because y'all were saying that before. I don't think I have. I know I don't have a 31. Oh, an 02. I have an 02 and a 20.
Marie
so
asked about a narwhal.
You handle this. I'm going to go grab this. And a narwhal. Both of my narwhals are out for review. I don't have one in the house. Sorry.
I want to... The narwhal design is really nice. And that becomes something that I'm like, oh, I like this. You're left-handed and you like the safari. Again, I'm not... I don't like to make very solid statements of like, if you're left-handed, don't use the Safari. I do think that the question becomes like, how do you hold the pen? I would almost put that over like, are you left-handed or right-handed? If you don't have a conventional grip, the Safari will oftentimes just hurt your hand. Okay, I'll ask about the 65 FC and let me write that down because I don't know what that is. So we have the 65. Oh, see this. The nib on this I love it. Don't you think you're legally allowed to have a narwhal and a Twisby in the same? Like that. This is a good joke. Thanks for coming over to play with us. Thank you for being so kind to me. So there was a 65 FC. I don't know what that means.
So we got some Franklin Christophs.
Okay.
All right. So 45L, is that what we have here? Yeah. And then a 20 and an 02. We're just looking at shape here.
Yeah. I'm gonna...
Oh, I didn't even realize I didn't have a nib here.
I'm going to...
Just so you can feel it.
I'm going to immediately say, looking at the pen, I don't like how the pen looks.
Yeah. Because they can come in solid and whatever.
If it were solid, I would be okay.
But just strictly on a feel perspective. Yeah. Here, before I remove that nib. Yeah. That's a different shape. Just a very standard shape. And then this one has a taper in the end here.
Funny enough, this one has like pressure on the top of my hand, which is like, I'm trying to understand like how, like what makes those differences happen. Please have Jay see me in LA. I promise to have a stupid number of pens. Yes.
February. You still gonna be there in February?
If, to my knowledge, I don't have any events in February, so
we can make that happen.
Yeah, as long as I don't have to travel. I'm in San Diego. I can drive to LA, no problem. This one.
So let's put the nib in there. That one's interesting because it has a huge taper.
Yeah, like it has like a Coke bottle taper to it.
So what it's designed to do is to actually promote the posting of the pen because it'll be very deep on there.
But then I have to post the pen.
Then you have to post the pen.
So I'm holding this.
It's designed to be comfortable either way, but it's a very different feel.
There's definitely less pressure on the top of my hand from this one, but then
like you wouldn't like that.
it hit.
That's not
this. This is exactly where the problem is because my thumb will slide up and down, and this will move with it, and that becomes no fun. No fun for anyone. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
So as chat likes to know, when I get text, I just got a text that said, "Don't share. See you on Friday." And so chat knows I'm going to the Orlando Pen Show on Friday. That means someone's going to show me something. And it's in my text, and I don't get to show them, so I'm really mean on stream.
That's fun.
I'm really mean.
That's fun.
On the stream.
Huh. So we've got... Okay, what is the this? Just the letter opener. This is... I mean, again, I am a fan of stationery as it is, and this would be good stationery. This is a great letter opener. I almost held it like in the danger position.
I don't know that there's anything like super interesting. Do you ever use mechanical pencils?
Not really, but
uncap that. So show chat. Show this chat.
Here we go.
That's the Uniball Karutoga Dive. I have not been
really
using
cool.
it.
Does this? Okay.
See, Annabelle.
I don't know if y'all can see this, but it has some lettering. You can kind of see it. Well, I'm talking about the lettering of mid, max.
So what happens is, leave it there. Yeah. So this will, based on how you twist it, will extend the pipe to shorter or longer pipe. So you have a longer or a shorter room there.
Oh wow!
It's hard to see until you give it a few twists.
That is insane. Yeah, it's not gonna focus for you, but that is wow. That's fancy.
That is fancy. How much could I get for this pencil, chat? Someone go eBay it. It's a very it's a launch that still confounds me that they released this pencil and it was such a hype. It's like a $50 mechanical pencil. It's really expensive for what it is.
I would think,
and they went off the market like that and have not ever become available again.
I think for an architect, if an architect, so someone who takes pride in their craft, I think they would pay $200 for this pen.
Yeah,
or this pencil
on eBay. It's like $200 or $300.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, I mean, yeah, even $300 for this.
200 on eBay.
The weird clip thing is interesting that it has like locked.
It has a bunch
clip
of
sections.
So it does that to when you uncap it, it will return the lead positioning to where you left it. So it auto extends the lead when you uncap it, so it's ready to write. So you don't uncap and click.
Okay.
So this has like all kinds of features like that on there.
That's...
So you actually uncap it and it's
that's
go.
Wild. Slumberland says 200. Yeah. I could see if I were an architect and someone showed me this pen and said $200, I would not have a problem with that.
Yep.
I want to talk about the nib on this.
All right.
Because this, I will say,
he keeps grabbing this one, Chad.
Other than the fact that it's the nib size is too
big. So this is like a number 6 size.
Yeah.
Nib.
If it were like a 5, this was the nicest. I wrote that 65 FC there, and you could see I stuck my wrist into that. Like there was like this nib is amazing.
Okay. So we need Jay to try more stub nibs. We can do that. I don't have any.
Do they make stub nibs that write pretty thin? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just need to think about what I have inked up. Well, so I have the Nemosine nibs, chat. Will the Nemosine fit in a number 6 Yovo fitting? So I have a Nemosine 06 and 09 stubs. Will they fit in there, chat?
Give Jay a good deal on that. I mean, hey, that's... every time I visit...
Not Yovo, I don't think. I was thinking that too. I was trying to think.
Every time I visit Brad, it is like...
But I have plenty of Yovo stubs.
There's a lot of conversation on how can I support... Actually, yeah, how can I support the Spoke Knock Brad brand...
You're doing it right now by coming on this stream.
All right.
And having a good time.
Keep subbing. Keep going for it. Most people want big nibs. It's things that I'm going. Okay, yeah.
Great that you're going. Yeah.
I mean, it's like I am very much I don't have a pen block. I have a cup from my local coffee roaster, and my pens, if they're not in my travel case, then they're in my what is that the knock that I got from you? It's the 3-pin holder.
Lookout.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's in that, and then everything else is in like a little coffee cup. So like I am very much I'm gonna use these pens. I would rather it be like function over form. But that being said, like ergonomics for me are kind of a pretty big deal.
Let me get this one back out because I'm going to tell you why this one's a little bit different from the rest of them.
Okay.
So Alan's asking, Brad, do you have a Stargazer? I do not. The Stargazer is the metal barrel version of that.
What I have here.
So that's a 91. The deal with that pen is, out of all those pens, like out of your preferences here, that's the only one with a gold nib.
Yeah.
On top of it, it's cheaper than all of them.
Interesting. The thing about this pen, and maybe something that I just thought about, I wonder how much the weight changes when there's a converter in it.
It definitely does.
Yeah, because
even with this Pilot, so some in chat will know, so Pilot has several different versions of a converter.
Yeah.
I prefer their heaviest converter. It's called a Con 70 because it makes the weight of the pen so much better. And this is empty right now.
Because I was just thinking about like how easy it was to flick that, and I was like, I wonder if it wouldn't be that easy if there were a converter in it. Because when I like use my 1911 Slim, which feels very much like it, like it's still easy to flick, but it feels like there's much more weight, coming with me.
Feel that.
This is That's the Namiki. I don't know how to say it. Namiki. Yeah. This feels like a really nice Pilot Metropolitan.
Yeah, so it's a brass barrel.
Like,
So my Namiki feels like a Pilot Metropolitan chat. And he's not wrong.
Did not like this feels like if someone said I really love Pilot Metropolitans and I want the nicest Pilot Metropolitan I can get. Like, I feel like this is what you give them. But that's not a bad thing. It's just
this is literally the
thing.
most expensive pen I own.
I mean, again,
this is great.
This is like the feeling of like, again, if you want the most expensive Pilot Metropolitan you will ever have,
Jay is not wrong.
And
I'm gonna show you something.
And the Pilot Metro is a very good pen. It's a very good starter pen.
So this has a brass barrel where this is plastic, but I wanted to get this converter in here. So
if you put that converter in a Pilot Metropolitan, like, I'm good. Like, that's great.
Jay dropping bombs in here on us. It's great. So it's a completely different feel with that in it.
Okay. Oh yeah, you can.
It's a massive
easily.
difference. Yeah.
You can easily see this. Oh, let's see. What is it? If Brad has to pick one of these for a giveaway, I mean, that's tough. I'm never gonna tell someone to give away their pens. Like, maybe the Sailor, only because I feel like the Sailor has such a classic look and feel.
Yeah, that's the black plated one. What's that one called? I get there's Imperial Black, and then there's
so they wanted to do a Star Wars thing, and
yeah. Has Jay tried a King of Pen? I was thinking the King of Pen might be too short and the nib too big, but I'll get him to try one.
So that's interesting.
So that's the weight difference.
Yeah, I would right. So
let's do the
for if people are keeping up, I right now I have to put this one over this one only because I haven't written with this one, and the nib on this was just so fantastic. This is nope. I can already.
Yeah, I did not pull this one out on purpose because I didn't think it would be. This
is top finger, like my middle finger. I can already feel the strain in that.
Yeah, this is everything. Pretty much everything wrong with this design is not what he likes.
Yeah. And see, this is where I need a Brad that will like. Yeah. That can explain kind of the differences.
This is one of my few exception to my norm pens.
Okay.
Mostly because it's light. I usually don't like wide barrels and gigantic nibs. This one works because it's lightweight for me, and the nib is really, really good. That's an exception type of pen for me.
Yeah, I still feel like this is like the most comfortable grip. But that nib, like that nib spoke to me. There was like a conversation we had about this of just like,
okay, I'm interested. What about the Opus Pen Addict pen? Oh, that's a good medium-sized pen. Let me see. Let me put a few of these away. Just so we have some room.
We're doing pen tours.
Oh, here. Try that real quick. Screw cap.
Okay. This is a
and that has a
this is a like an acrylic kind of like semi-transparent done right. Okay. So yeah, this actually feels good, and I love the coloring. I love the style. Let me put it back in frame here.
So the interesting thing that you might like, it's also an eyedrop filler, but like an easy to use one.
Okay.
So it's got a ton of ink in there.
Yeah, I've never done an eyedrop fill.
It's completely simple.
There'd be lessons learned here. This one.
So that one's good because it's full size, but it also has like the number 5 size.
Yeah, I would say. Oh man, I just realized what would make this pen perfect. That spoke magnetic like clip on the end. If I just did like, because I don't even know how I did it the first. Well, I went to close it. And I think I closed into like a quick twist, and it felt like it like kind of snapped in.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that would be interesting. Kind of this like unsheathing, honestly. This. So if you have this pen, I envy you because I think that I'd have to write with it. But in terms of feel, I would put this pen first. For writing, I would put this pen first. and then an honorable mention would be the. Oh, let me do this. I will set these over here, and I will slide these up. So feel this pen, writing this pen, honorable mentions, these pens here, and then again, when you need to write your memoir or your will, this one over here. There's just so much weight. This is a weapon.
That trips me out how fixated you are on that, because you're not wrong.
Because it's a small profile.
It's a small profile. It is
like
small.
I feel like that would fit in my pocket. And I wouldn't put it in my pocket like that just by itself. But like, I feel like it has the look of just like, shoot, like all right, go with it. But then I grab it and it's just like, oh wait, I didn't put enough arm into this. So like, I feel like my hand's gonna like break on stream. Like
So Jay doesn't know what this pen is.
Oh, I know it's the Pen Addict.
Oh, you know it's the
Pen
Pen Addict.
I know it's the Pen Addict.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, this was.
I was waiting for you to crap all over.
This is when So again, I love the creamsicle-ish orange for obvious reasons. The comparison to this versus this. It's hard to see on camera, but maybe you can see some of the shininess reflection coming off of the lights. This is what I would like to see in these like semi-transparent.
You like the opaqueness
of
the orange as opposed to like the crystal of the
exactly
olive, which is what that
okay.
Olive. I do not have an Omos Arco pen. I do not.
I would and see now I'm mad because I know that you cannot get these pens.
Well, actually I have more coming. So like in November when I reordered like another 100. Like November is what they told me like a couple months ago.
Gonna have to.
But it does come in a stub nib, which is what you need to try.
Yes.
To feel like this. Although I think it's going to be wider than this. So we'll see.
I believe
if I have one to play with.
I believe BTS said smooth like butter. And that is very much the feeling that I have.
All right, Mr. Miller, we're going to leave it on here.
All right.
We have streamed today, chat.
2 hours and some change.
How good was this?
That was great.
How good was this? I could do this literally all day, and I know y'all would be here. Y'all would be here for it. Jay and I actually have work to do.
Yeah. I still have that whole job thing. Luckily for me, most of my colleagues are on the West Coast. So, and I did a little bit of work this morning to make up for the time I was going to miss.
Yeah. So we got to figure out. Jay's gonna be here for a little bit, so we'll have to figure out if we can do another stream.
I
some podcasting.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk.
Yeah, we haven't had time to nail
talk.
down all the details other than I'm here, I'm coming, I'm gonna be here for a few weeks. Let's do it. And I'm like, I'm in. Let's go. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, awesome. I will throw out there LA. I'm sure like at a conference you don't get this much time. Like
it depends. Like at nighttime, like this is what we do. Like we could do this for hours at night.
Where can you find me? Yep.
So I'm throwing the conduit link out there. Should I do something else?
If you're
Twitter here.
If you're a Relay FM member, just to give those folks a shout out, we do we do record Conduit live. So if you're in the Discord, you can catch us live, and we do. From the planning and prepping of the show, like we know what we're going to talk about, but we have to do all of get the show notes and things of that stuff. Like, you can catch all of that at Relay FM.
Do a friend of the show while Jay is here. We should do that. All right. Here, while we're talking about it, Relay FM raffle for St. Jude chat is up. Before we go, let me show y'all what we got here real quick. And I can't stay too much longer.
Beautiful.
So,
Those are nice.
John Tello at Hello Tello Studios, also Tesori Pens Test with the giveaway. We'll do the big giveaway here in just a second. So John made a couple of pens just for giveaway here. Y'all know I love my Tesori pens.
Robert Oster signature.
So this one is an older orange Omos acrylic here with a glass finial.
The cap
glass cap.
is wigging me out. I love it.
Yeah, I have a bunch of pictures of these pens. I'll put them up on Instagram, but I just wanted to wait. And then we have the a standard orange acrylic, but with a warm primary manipulation
I
here.
love both of those.
On that, and then they have the milleflori in both ends of the top of the cap and the base of the pen. So I'll get some more pictures. We also have a Toyota Pencraft
That's
number 8
right there.
fountain pen box number 8,
Yep.
which I picked up at the San Francisco Pen Show.
How many pens is that?
So
hold?
8. It's got
Eight
2
pens,
trays.
two
Let me
trays
show
of
you
4?
this thing here. So I took a picture of that one because that's my color, but theirs has like the tan. But there's a drawer 4 and 4, and then the top. There. So that's how that works.
I think everything about that screams I need to get that.
It's really neat.
I'm looking at that 14,000 yen.
Yeah,
That's
they're not cheap. They are not cheap.
and
And
that
then
looks like good material.
and then we have the set of for the Enigma Blanks jellyfish set. So this is the pen, the nib that you. This actually has that journaler nib on there that you like.
Okay.
Sean Newton barrel design, Enigma Blanks material, special Venta ink, special nib grind, and special notebook. All of that on here.
Interesting.
So this is what we've got now. We'll talk more about this on the podcast tomorrow, chat. But since it came up at noon, I wanted to get this out there. So y'all check this out.
Yep.
We'll have a lot more added to this as time goes.
Yeah. Support St. Jude, support the Pen Addict, do all those things. Both of them mean a lot to me. Like I have personal, not me, but people who have been impacted and helped by St. Jude, and that whole motto of them saying they won't stop until no child is lost.
Yep.
To me, that hits me personally because we actually had a friend of the family last year who lost their child while they were at St. Jude, unfortunately. But at the same time, I know that they got taken care of, and as much wonderful time, especially if you live in California and you have to send your child over. If you have to pay for everything, that becomes a burden.
It's a huge
Yeah,
burden.
so support them. I'm going to be supporting them. We're going to be doing, again, Conduit's going to be doing stuff. We don't have any pins to give away. I can't reveal what we're doing, but
we can give them a pen to give away.
yeah, we're gonna have some stuff for folks that dig the Conduit vibes.
All right. Speaking of giveaways, Tess redeemed a blog giveaway. So I'm gonna reach in here blindly. This is the Icebox of Happiness. Are you familiar with the Icebox of Happiness?
I'm not. No.
So we'll have to.
This is the problem of you streaming when I'm asleep or I'm just waking up.
Jay's on the West Coast. Let's see. What do we got here? Let's see what this is. Since we're talking about pens.
I was gonna say, is there a dropper? Because I feel like I want to get fancy now. And
let's see. So we have this. So we have a Y Studio pen
Oh.
or pencil. Let's not find out until we give it away. How about that?
Oh, that's awesome.
This is how we do it sometimes. Like I
perfect.
just grabbed this out of here. I don't know which model this is. We've given out some used models before, some brassed models, some pre-brassinged models. So we give it away and then we open it up for everyone to see. So let me type this up. Then me and Jay are gonna get out of here.
I love the boxing on this.
They do a really good job.
Yeah, this is really cool.
So yeah, behind you is called the Icebox of Happiness. That's where everything that lives in there is giveaway eligible.
Oh wow!
If it's inside there, I give it away. So because I have
Interesting.
too much stationery. All right, let me type this here. Y Studio.
And now I'm just getting shamed for not waking up early. You see,
We have a ton of West Coast listeners.
I am usually awake. I will say that because my daughter wakes me up at like 6 a.m. It's just catching a stream that early. It's just not the. Usually my priority is first coffee.
Mm-hmm. All right. So exclamation point raffle. We'll open this up in 2 minutes once this once y'all can get entering. Let me see. Do I need to put anything away? No, we're good. We are good.
Sure that
Yeah, keep your pens tracked.
Yep. By the way, we didn't talk about the paper.
We didn't even get to test the paper.
This
was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The paper is good.
Okay, just a reminder real quick before you continue talking. This is the Sanzen Tomoe River S.
yes.
All right.
So, I want to... Actually, no, I did write in there. So, I know that the nib on this is great. This being the one that spoke to me a lot. The paper, though, the combination was like, just a good like apple pie.
Okay.
Like everything about it was just like, I want this.
Okay.
Like, but and even in the plotter paper, like the nib itself felt great. But I having been a Tomoe River paper user for a long time, and I remember like messaging you like in dire frustration because I didn't know what I was going to do. I was like, what do I do? Do I just buy like as much as I can now and hold them? Yes, it's different. I still like it, and I think if this is what they replace it with, I am totally cool with that.
I agree across the board. And I haven't tested this pad, but I've tested the sheets that Jacob sent me when they're first printing. I want to test this. Yeah. I've tested a little sample at San Francisco, but I want to break out this pad. We just opened it here on stream. Yeah. I am completely going to line up with you, I assume, that it's not the same. It's still great, right? Yeah. Like, it's just going to be good. It's going to be good paper. Yeah. I will still
check for I mean, if you
there's nothing.
There's nothing there, which is great. Like, you can kind of see writing, but I might be.
Oh, haven't tried the Mekon. Yeah, try this.
Time remaining 0.
Okay, we'll do this here. Chat wants to see you try this. Y'all are never gonna let us go today. But we should do
Wait,
this.
try the thing. Try the.
All right, so this is a weird one.
Okay, weird is okay.
All right, so let me put this in chat here. So this is what I picked up from the San Francisco Pen Show.
Another
Sailor.
creamsicle. I love it.
All right, so short pen, and it turns into full size, right, when you're writing. So you have to post it, so the clip's going to be a problem for you.
But it's like a post and twist.
Mm-hmm. But if you look closer here, I don't know if chat can see, it's a stacked nib. So someone layered more metal on top of this nib. So you have a fine line on the normal side, then you flip it.
Oh, that's
your marker side. So there.
That is wild. And it feels so. We were talking about the post versus non-post because
it screws on.
Yeah, it's a screw-on.
It's
post.
Like, you don't have to do it, but it's saying like if you want the best experience, you're probably gonna have to post
like. If
I can hear that you writing, this will not work for Jay.
Yeah.
I can hear it from here that this is not going to work whatsoever for him.
See, this is nice. I mean, I'm just slinging ink, but
that's what it's for.
Yeah, no.
That's what, I didn't even bother to bring that one out. I kind of assumed, but it's cool to say, oh, that's wild, and never, right?
That's cool. I've heard of the stack nibs. I know they've been talking about it on Tokyo.
Yeah, so this is CY.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's give this away. Then we'll let Jay open it up here. Let's see.
The winner.
Pick winner. M Inky Love.
M Inky Love. Congratulations.
Nice. All right, let's see what you got.
So pen or pencil.
Let me see if I can remember what this is.
You want to guess? You want to guess before?
I'm gonna go with. Did we give away the red roller ball? I'm thinking it's the red roller ball. We gave away the brass.
Because I looked on the box and it says what it is, but maybe it's a different box.
You're the only one who knows. Like I don't know. I think chat says pencil. Jay ruined the stream.
No. I was looking.
Oh, it's right there. Shoot, I didn't even see this.
So congratulations.
Enjoy your mechanical pen. We can at least see what color it is. There's black ones. There's copper ones.
Gold.
Okay, so this is a brass one.
Oh, yeah. It's got weight.
Yeah, so this is the brass.
This still has more weight than this. Like that's kind of wild.
Nice. So it's a brass mechanical pencil.
Ooh, I'm just over here using your pencil. I am so sorry. Here. Like, this is a very nice pencil. Congratulations, M Inky Love.
All right.
Never mind. Jay has won the raffle. No.
All right. Email me hello@penaddict.com. And I will get that headed your way. Let's see.
So I will say, if people throw some follows over, and we get enough people watching me do things, we can do some pen excursions. I'm not as fancy as Brad.
Y'all go follow Jay so you can you can turn on your alerts. Whoops.
Yeah. Especially if you're a developer, like if you're in Python, if you're doing web development, things like that, we will we'll be mostly doing that. You'll be doing work with me. So if you ever wondered what it's like to work at Microsoft, I'm probably the worst example of that, but but it is technically true. So, but then yeah, I think if there are enough people that are asking about pins and productivity and stuff like that, we can definitely have those conversations. Oh yeah, well these are accountability streams, so it means I'm sitting at my chair doing work and having great conversations while doing that.
So I know you're just kind of getting going and streaming. Do you have any type of schedule, or just kind of when you can?
So again, for this month, it's going to be as much as Brad is like, yeah, go ahead, stream. I don't care. But normally, I've been trying to stick to 2 streams on Friday because we do the Python community news stream in the evening, and then I stream in the morning, and then I also try to stream on Monday and Wednesday, and that's I didn't come up with any schedule of that. It's more of just, oh hey, I'm not doing anything right now. Let's stream, and I know I don't have any meetings on Mondays, which is always a nice thing.
Nice. So we gotta put Inky Love got out of the Zero Wins Club. Nice. I did not realize that.
That actually makes me think I actually don't have a meeting today either.
It is Tuesday, not Monday.
Yeah, but it's like it's post holiday.
True.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have any meetings today, which is good.
All right, we're gonna go raid our good friend Celery Men. Looks like they're writing. They still writing Lord of the Rings? Yes, we're writing Lord of the Rings, and they're right in the middle of a session. So we will go destroy that. Yeah. So hang tight. We'll go over there. Thanks for hanging out today. This was really fun. Thanks for Jay to be here. Being here.
Thank you for, again, the nicest chat I've ever been in. This is like y'all win the award for best chat.
Yay chat. All right, bye. We're out of here. All right, hang on one sec.
Like ableism of